Welcome to another edition of Against the Grain Sports Podcast, Uncut. And I'm your host, Jody Coleman, in the building. Hope everybody had a fabulous weekend. We know what that is, the bracketology. We got my man Jarrell Soul on Sports Glenn all the way from San Antonio, Texas. Man, how you feeling, my guy?
Feeling good, man. It's been a good day for me, brother. I got to hang out with my granddaughter. We went to the zoo, so it was a good day today.
That
She
sounds
get
like
she
a
get
good
she
day.
get to run she get to run the
It
old
sounds
grandpa around the zoo. It was a good day today.
Hey, it's crazy because up here we had 72 degrees yesterday. It's snowing
Uh huh.
today. It's snowing today.
Hey,
I know
Jody.
I'm dead serious.
Yesterday was 90 degrees yesterday, right? And today it dropped down to the 40s. So the weather's been crazy the last couple of days here.
It's crazy work, man. But we got a great show today. We got the college basketball field of 68 is set. We got some NFL news with Justin Fields being traded to the Kansas City Chiefs for some insurance for Patrick Mahomes. The great Darius Slay has retired at the 13th season and 6 Pro Bowls. We'll talk about that. And we'll talk about the NBA looking to expand to 2 cities, Vegas and Seattle. They're trying to do that as early as 2028. We'll get into that. But before we get into anything college basketball wise, how shocked was you when you seen the Texas Longhorns got into the playing game?
I was extremely shocked and kind of embarrassed at the same time, but they don't deserve it. I'm, I'm, I secretly hope they go ahead and lose tomorrow to get it over. I'm going to be watching, but they don't deserve to be in this man. By name only, they're in there, but they definitely don't. They haven't earned their way in as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but I mean, they had a tough schedule. What's up, Asia? Asia in the building. She says, "What's up to the family?" They had a very tough schedule. So
Yeah,
I will say that, and I think that playing in the tough SEC, they had a first year head coach. I think Miller is going to really turn that program around. They're going to get some recruits down there. But I was really shocked when they got into the tournament because was there anything in the tournament that kind of because it to me it was no surprises of the teams that didn't get in. Was there any of the teams that was supposed to be on the bubble that didn't get in that you were like scratching your head about this year?
no, not really. I still think they did Miami, Ohio wrong. That's just my opinion. They're making them. Aren't they one the playing games also, Joe? Am I wrong about that? I think they should. I think they should be just part of the regular 64. I mean, say what you want, but they lost one game all year. What do you think about that, Jody?
I agree with that. I believe that Miami of Ohio, because I think the way that it looked when I looked at, we about to get into these games, but the way that it looked like they were the last team to get in because they got a matter of fact. Let's get right into it, man. Because well, actually, no, let's not get into the Miami of Ohio. Let's get into the NFL, then we'll come back and we'll talk about the playing games and we'll get more in depth with the Miami of Ohio and the playing game that's going to be on Thursday. I mean, Wednesday and Tuesday
Yeah.
here. But let's get into this one right here. NFL, guys. We got Justin Fields being traded to the Chiefs. I believe they gave up a 6th-round pick to the Jets to get him over to Kansas City. This is Justin Fields' 4th team in 4 years. So talk to me. Is this a good fit for Justin Fields?
Well, the Jets are doing him a favor. I mean, he gets away from that toxic Jets situation, and apparently the Jets are going to pay the bulk of his salary. So Kansas City, we'll give you a late round pick, and we only got to pay this guy, I think, $2 or $3 million. He's going to get some real coaching now. He's never really had good coaching since he's been in the NFL. So this hopefully Patrick Mahomes is healthy, and this kid can I call him a kid. This guy can just sit on the bench and just learn from legends at every level, from the coaching down to the greatness of Patrick Mahomes. This can do nothing but rub off with him. I'm happy for the kid. Hopefully he can be a better pro after being in a good organization like the Kansas City Chiefs.
No doubt. Eagles, Philly said, good evening, good brothers. Keep doing your thing. Stay safe, stay blessed. Team USA is one win away from bringing home the gold in the World Baseball Classic. It's going to be tough because I think they're going to play against Japan.
No, it's not Japan. They play the winner of Venezuela and Italy play tonight. They play the winner of that.
So who beat Japan?
I think the DR did.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
Well, I
DR, it
can't
was a good
wait for
game
that.
last night though.
But check this out, man. We talking Justin Fields, man. Now, I don't want nobody in the comments or nobody in the NFL to call this man a bust yet, because we know we let Sam Darnold go to 6 goddamn teams before we said Sam Darnold is now a Super Bowl champion quarterback. I think he got one more team he can go to, because we know this is not his final destination. Yeah, he said Venezuela beat Japan. Thank you, appreciate it. But this, we know that Justin Fields going to Kansas City is not his final destination. We know that because Patrick Mahomes, he is the guy in Kansas City. So we know he's going to move on at some point. Now, we don't know. Patrick Mahomes said he's going to be ready week 1. But right now, if I'm Kansas City, I'm like, okay, let's get him ready by week 4. Let's get Justin Fields in there, at least go 2-2. We know Justin Fields can win a few football games, and then that could be enough for him to be this next year's Malik Willis and potentially go to a team that needs a quarterback. You got to think Justin Fields is still under 26 years of age. I think he's under 26 or 27, so he's still got a lot of football left in him. I think his mechanics are still kind of shaky to me. Like you said, he's been to some bad organizations. I mean, the best one he was at was Pittsburgh, which I think that's who should have really worked with him. But that was a situation where they brought him and Russell Wilson in at the same time. I think Justin Fields has a boatload of talent. I think he has a boatload of athletic ability. I just think that he, right, like you said, going to Kansas City potentially get that up out of him. But what do you think that this means for Justin Fields? We know this is not his final destination. Do you think he could be next year's Malik Willis?
Oh, most definitely. Like you said, you mentioned the greatness when you mentioned Sam Darnold. That's a great comparison. Remember, he went to San Francisco. He was the backup there, but he got great coaching. He got to learn under that Shanahan. You know, he knows how to groom quarterbacks there. So this can be great. He's there with Andy Reid. Andy Reid does great with quarterbacks, and he might have to start beginning of the season. I'm not 100% sure. They showed Patrick Mahomes. He was at the Texas Tech game the other day. He was dragging that leg a little bit, even though we got 5 or 6 months or so before the season starts. They might not rush him back. Like you said, Jody, he might have to start the first month of the season. And they spend a lot of money as running back. Kenneth Walker Jr., the third. I shouldn't say junior, the third. He should be ready to earn that paycheck, because he's going to get the ball quite a bit, I think, at the beginning of the season, until Patty Mahomes, your favorite quarterback, comes back. So I think if he comes out there and plays well the first month, let's say they're 3-1, 2-2, plays good football. Let's say he don't play no more the rest of the year. Then everybody's intrigued. Now, man, did you see Justin Fields play? I think we might have to give him a contract. So I think it's nothing but good for him.
Because you got to think about it. Malik Willis remember, he played for Tennessee before he went over to Green Bay.
Yeah.
And they were quick to get rid of him in Tennessee. Didn't even really, to me, even give him a chance, because he was a 3rd-round draft pick. And then they brought in, what's the guy, Will Levis. Remember, they brought him in a 2nd-round draft pick. And they didn't even let these 2 guys compete for the starting job. They just kind of gave the job to Will Levis. And then he moves on to the Green Bay Packers. He goes, plays a couple games, and now he's the talk of the town with the Miami Dolphins. My man James Frankston, but he said Fields going to look good in the backfield with the MVP running back. Nah, it's going to be good for Fields. I think Fields, like, I always believe that Fields, even coming out of Ohio State, actually going back even further, when he was at Georgia, he was a raw commodity at the quarterback position. And then when he got to Ohio State, we just had so many athletes at the wide receiver position. He was throwing to wide open windows. He never had to worry about throwing into really tight windows when he was at Ohio State. And then he gets to the NFL. And actually, what people forget, his first year in Chicago, they were trying to run the offense that Andy Dalton was running. I remember they played the Cleveland Browns, and we sacked him 9 times. And Myles Garrett felt bad for him. He was like, man, why are y'all letting this guy just sit back here with all this athletic ability, do some read options? And people forget, the top 100 quarterbacks that next year, Justin Fields rushed for over 1,100 yards. If you look at the record book, he has the most yards rushing in the season for a quarterback, and he was the 85th player on the top 100 list. So people around the NFL believe he can play the game of football. And then when he left Chicago, which I don't think they did anything for him in Chicago, he goes over to Steelers, and the Steelers basically didn't believe in him because they went and picked up a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Russell Wilson in the same season. And then they like, okay, well, we're going to send him to the Jets, that nobody has been successful in quite some time with the Jets. And then they say this guy can't play football. I just think that if we're going to start saying this about the Daniel Joneses of the world, the Sam Darnolds of the world. We can't give up on Justin Fields or Zach Wilson for that matter, or J.J. McCarthy for that matter. What do you think about that, Saul?
I agree 100%, man. Situations really matter in football, bro, especially at the quarterback position. If you're in a bad situation, man, you got bad coaching, it's gonna make you look like like a terrible football player. Even Tom Brady said this in the interview. He said, if I would never went to the New England Patriots, people wouldn't know who I am. So situations matter. Hopefully, this is a good situation for him. Take advantage. He's been in the league quite for a while now, so he knows how to be a pro. Now he just got to learn from some of the greats, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and that situation. Now, do the Kansas City Chiefs, what they do have to do, they have to revamp that defense. They lost I think, damn near their whole entire secondary. They lost some linebackers and shit, but I think they'll probably figure it out during the draft.
And don't forget they got Eric Bieniemy back, a guy that helped Patrick Mahomes win the MVP. I think he won both MVPs under Eric Bieniemy, as well as winning, I believe, 2 Super Bowls with him. James Frank said he was at that game, so he remembered what I'm talking about against the Bears. He said that game, Myles Garrett had 4.5 sacks. It was lit. He said JOK knocked the ball out. I'll never forget that game. I remember watching that game, because my brother's a Bears fan.
Yeah.
And that's the game. Also, Kareem Hunt had over 100 yards rushing, and I thought that he was going to take the helm because I think Nick Chubb was hurt in that game. Also, Eagles Philly said, shout out to my cousin Eric B. Jordan, best actor in Oscar last night. Hey, big shout out to Michael B. Jordan. Young Chris said off topic, but it's harder to get 5 stolen bases in baseball than 5 sacks in a football game. I mean, of course, because you got to get on base. Still, I think 5 sacks in football is not as hard because sometimes they just let, like Myles Garrett get 5 sacks against the New England Patriots. I think they said, forget it. We're going to stop everybody else. And then Myles Garrett gets to the quarterback. He just gets to the quarterback.
Yeah.
I think we're getting on base and getting there. It's going to be really difficult for that. James Frank said Nick Chubb had 87 yards in that game. He said it was the hardest 87 yards he ever had. But remember, I think Kareem Hunt went over 100 in that game. I think that's the game. But yeah, man, let's see what happens with Justin Fields as a backup. See what he does there. But let's keep it all the way funky and keeping it moving. Darius Slay retires after 13 NFL seasons, 6 Pro Bowls to boot with that. What did you think about Darius Slay? Like I said, he started his career with Detroit Lions, going over to the Eagles and going over to the Pittsburgh Steelers. What did you think about Darius Slay hanging it up today?
Very solid career. Nothing else to prove. I mean, like you say, he went to a bunch of Pro Bowls, won him a Super Bowl he was with the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. So good career. A lot of people love to have the career he did in this league. He was not elite corners in the league, but very good high level cornerback in this league. Not a Hall of Famer. You might have said something different about that, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. But I think he was a top level cornerback in this league. Had a lot of good years with the Eagles and with Detroit when they didn't winning over there. But with the Eagles, he got him a Super Bowl, so I'm happy for him.
Yeah, man, I think Darius Slay was a very solid guy. Yeah. And there are some people saying, is he a Hall of Famer? Absolutely not. I mean,
no, I don't think so.
We got some guys that's on the shelf that may not get in, like Asante Samuels, Lester Hayes, guys that did it, won Defensive Player of the Year at the cornerback position, and they're still not in the Hall of Fame.
Now, Darius Slay better than Rondé Barber? I think so.
Wow. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that on Against the Grain. It ain't no fucking way he better than Rondé Barber. I'm not saying that Darius Slay wasn't a good talent. But this is one of the guys, if you say that he's a Hall of Famer, you're sadly mistaken. I think he had a very, very, very good career. He was one of the better cover corners for quite some time, but Hall of Famer, absolutely not. James Frank said not a Hall of Famer, but dude was legit. Eagles Philly said that's my guy. Darius Big Play Slay, Super Bowl 52 and Super Bowl 59 champion. Congratulations. But I think that, man, him retiring, man, I think sometimes you got to know what your body tells you to do. Sometimes some people hang around a little bit too long. He had already won a Super Bowl ring, but some guys stick around a little bit too long. What do you think about that? Guys that kind of stick around way too long, and then we forget how good they are or how good they were because they played 3 to 4 extra years when they shouldn't have.
Sometimes it makes you wonder. Everyone's situation is different, Joe. It makes you think, is this guy bad with money? Is that why he playing, or does he just can't get the game out of the system? He don't have any other interests outside of football. Everyone's mentality is different. Some people think I'm going to play until they have to carry me off the damn field. I guess it's a mentality from different players. And Darius Slay, he was still playing at a decent level last year with I think he played with Pittsburgh last year. So
Yeah.
Some players just hang around a little bit too long and put a little bit of bad reputation on their name. But I think he's walking away at a good time.
Yeah, I think the players got to know. I understand you love the game. I think basketball is a little bit different than football because a lot of guys that play basketball and they overextend their welcome, kind of like Shaquille O'Neal did, Kevin Garnett. They're playing basketball, and a lot of times when you love the game of basketball, you could be in your 40s and still go get a pickup game and be like, I'm gonna go get a run at the local YMCA or LA Fitness. But when you play football, you're putting a lot of miles on your body, and sometimes you taking an extra hit and extra training camps that you didn't necessarily need to take because unless you play quarterback and you the backup, or even if you the starter, they can't even touch you in practice. Like they got the red, Now if you're a quarterback and playing extended time, that's different. But playing cornerback, playing a physical position, a running back, or something like that, I think that you got to know when to fold them, Kenny Rogers style, man. So I'm glad that Darius Slay is walking away from the game and not limping away from the game. So a big shout out to our guy Darius Big Play Slay, man.
Yeah, it's different though, man. Because you think about, like you said, Joe, think about basketball. If you're a basketball player, and you really don't have nothing to contribute on the court no more. But if you're a good team guy, you can sit on the bench for 4 or 5 years, not even get no minutes. What was that brother that played the Michigan Wolverine, and he went back to Michigan to be a coach? In the firing, the one that tried to fight one of the other coaches. What's that brother name? For the Fab Five.
Juwan Howard.
Juwan Howard played for the Miami Heat, bro, for about 4 or 5 years, and I don't think he got 1 minute on the court, but he was on the roster getting the check. He was like a glorified assistant coach.
Look at Adonis Haslam. He played for years. James Frank said Aaron Rodgers is a prime example, though. Dude should have retired after he got hurt. What's up, Teresa? Hope you're having a fabulous day. Also, since Teresa's on here, I want to make mention that the San Francisco 49ers decided a 1-year deal for wide receiver Christian Kirk from the Houston Texans to help with that wide receiver position with the 49ers have been ailing them. That was one of their Achilles heel last year because they missed so many people. Brandon Ayuk didn't play. Now they go pick up Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, and so hopefully some of these other guys are healthy when the season starts. So I'm really trying to see what the 49ers. They brought Greenlaw back, Drake Greenlaw. He went 1 year up to the Denver Broncos, came back. Remember, he had that horrific injury in the Super Bowl where he was not even touched. I think he was just going onto the field.
Yeah.
So I want to. It's going to be some big things, I believe, going on for the San Francisco 49ers.
There's rumors Debo might go back there too. There's rumor because he ain't signed a contract yet. But there's rumors he might go back to the Bay Area also. They need all the wide receivers they can get because for some reason I don't know what's going on out there. They just cannot stay healthy on that team.
It might be something in the water, but I would love to see Debo go back. We said this about Debo about 4 years ago. He couldn't get no separation. I don't know why they don't just put his ass at running back and call it a goddamn day. That's what he's built like. He's built like a thick ass running back. Hey, Debo thick as fuck, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Debo, man.
Yeah, he's definitely not skinny. That's for damn sure. He big boned it.
That's wild and crazy work, man. But yeah, man. So let's before we get to college basketball, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk to NBA if we could, man. And the NBA is looking to expand in 2 cities in particular, the Las Vegas city and as well as Seattle. So what do you feel about that? Because I got a problem with Seattle because if they're not going to be the Supersonics, they don't need to be shit. I need their colors and everything to go back. Vegas, go talk to me, man. What do you think about these 2 cities that they picked?
Well, Joe, we've been doing this show for a while now. I remember you said you want the NBA to get rid of teams. Now they want to add teams. So they're going to have to even this thing out. I've had some thoughts about this. They're going to have to move 2 of these teams to the Eastern Conference team. That's going to have to. They'll have to be probably Minnesota and probably Memphis. Going to have to go to the East. That way we can balance this shit out in Vegas and Seattle. Like I said, Supersonics definitely need to be their logo. I don't know if the Oklahoma City Thunder own the rights to some of that shit. I don't know. But the Supersonics need to go back. It's like when Cleveland left, they changed the name. Right, so and we got the team back. They changed it back to the Browns. So hopefully Seattle Supersonics can get that name back. In Vegas, man, they're talking about $7 billion for one of these franchises each. They're talking about going to go up to $7 billion. I said LeBron's gonna get that team, but he's gonna have to get some help. He ain't got that kind of money. He does have a lot of money, but he ain't got $7 billion. He might.
Yet. Hey, why did James Frank said Debo got a BBL? BBL Debo. BBL Debo. No, but on some real shit, man. I think this is an absolutely dumbass decision by the NBA. The NBA just keep making dumbass decisions. You're going to add 2 more teams where you can't even get these guys to play a full 82 games. You had to change the rules where these guys play 65 games or they can't get any postseason awards, which also comes out of their pocket because that's how they get their incentives if you're all NBA, if you're MVP. So you can't even get these guys to do this shit. Like, when the fuck have we ever had to pay these motherfuckers extra money to come do some shit where you already giving a whole hell of a lot of money? So now you're talking about bringing 2 franchises into the fold where like I said, I think teams should be diminishing. We should be shrinking teams. Now we can probably get more talent on the team. Maybe shrink the NBA by 4 to 5 teams. I say 4 teams to keep it even. And then make the roster spots 17 spots. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And keeping these guys on the court, man. It's a lot of guys that are on the fucking court that don't need to be there. I don't like it. And like I said, if it's not the Seattle Supersonics, keep that shit. If in Vegas, I just don't know if I'm a big believer in teams in Vegas because Vegas is like a vacation destination. How can you get a real fan in Vegas? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to get real fans in Vegas? The reason why the Raiders probably got fans is because of Oakland and LA. So they're not too far from there. So they're going to be Raiders fan, going to be Raiders fan. But this is a whole new organization. I don't even know what they're going to call them. And how you going to get like true fans of this organization? How you going to pack out those stadiums? So,
well, it's called winning. When you win, people show up. Remember, Vegas got a hockey team and went straight to the Stanley Cup Finals. I think that following year they were a brand new franchise. And let's not forget about the ladies team that's in Vegas. They're winning championships also. So not so much the football team yet. But I'm like you, Joe. I agree, man. Are they going to have the expansion draft too, like they did with Memphis and some other? Or are we going to? Are going to be some of these teams going to have to give up some of their players because that's the road they're going to go down? Because we haven't had expansion in a really long time. It's not going to make the game better. We got a shitload of bad teams in the NBA right now, bro. There's a lot of under 500 teams. So and thinning those teams out is not going to make it better.
Not gonna make it fucking better. My man King Minks in the base said, "My guys, what it do? Solo hit 100. 100 saw it on here. That's crazy work. Hey, but on some real shit though, man, I'm not. Adam Silver, man. To me, Adam Silver is a puppet. He's a fucking puppet. The reason why I say Adam Silver is a puppet, man, in all due respect, is he succumbed to whatever the outside entities say he should do.
Oh yeah.
If the outside entities say you need to change the All-Star game, he changed the All-Star game.
He definitely that cool uncle. You right about that.
And that ain't a good sign. I ain't saying you got to be a dictator, but to sit up here and try to get 2 new teams, I'm not really happy about them trying to get 2 new teams. Now, I would say if you can get the players to play 75% of their games, and you start getting consistent play. I looked at the game last night. I got my nephew, the voice of youth, in the building. I'll let you join in a second. I watched the game last night between the Knicks and the Golden State Warriors. And I looked at the Warriors. The Warriors had motherfuckers I had no fucking idea was in the NBA. Have you seen their roster?
Yeah, I think they're down. I think they said they're down six of their
they're down
top
Seth
12
Curry,
players or something like that.
They down Seth Curry, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. What's my man? That came from Boston. That never plays.
Jimmy
I
Butler
don't even know why they picked him up.
Jimmy Butler wasn't there. Also, what's his name? Porzingis wasn't on the court. I'm looking like, what the fuck are we goddamn watching? Like, no, even the announcer didn't know who these players was on the court, and they actually was playing really well in the first half.
Yep, competitive.
In New York ended up beating them. But if this is what I'm talking about. And then our stars are so much older. Like, we got KD, we got Kyrie Irving, we got LeBron James. Those guys are getting older. So with those guys getting older, that means sooner or later they're going to retire. They're not going to be around. King Ming said Vegas new spot. You got he said you got the Raiders, Aces, hockey, and Major League team coming there soon.
Oh, I forgot about the baseball team.
He said Adam Silver looks like he said Adam family Lurch the Butler. Lord of the Rings, my precious ring. What's up? He said, question for y'all. If y'all are Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in September and Justin Fields got you at 4 or 5-0, what do you do? I'm gonna let Donald, since he's new. What do you do? Do you? That's a good question. Very good question. Do you change out Patrick Mahomes if they're 4-0, let's say 5-0, and Justin Fields the quarterback?
Justin Fields, thanks for your services. We try to get you a good trade destination.
That's simple, huh?
If you're gone to the bench, it's Patrick Mahomes. You're out of here. No ifs, ands, buts about it.
Okay. So what do you think? What would you do?
Oh, the Steph Curry of football is definitely going to be out there playing. We appreciate you helping the team. You can stay on the roster. You get a Super Bowl ring once we get Mahomes back in there. But yeah, Mahomes is definitely not going to be staying on the bench. That's unless he's really dragging that leg out there. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, y'all know what I'm gonna say. It ain't no fucking way. Nobody on this planet is better than Patrick Mahomes. I don't give a fuck if they going out there scoring 50 points a game. They're winning 50-10. They looking like the New England Patriots that remember when they was 18-0 before they lost the Super Bowl game to the Giants. I don't give a fuck, they looking like that. No disrespect. Patrick Mahomes is the guy. He's been the past and he's gonna be the future. And he is gonna be the present. I don't give a fuck if they go out there, they busting teams' ass. Patrick Mahomes is my quarterback for sure. I don't give a fuck what they doing now. Justin Fields just made himself a whole hell of a lot of money if he go 4-0, 5-0. He made himself, he's probably back in the sweepstakes as being the number one sought after quarterback in free agency. But that's about it. He won't be, because I don't think he's gonna be a Kansas City Chief after this year anyway.
Thank you for your services.
Also, he said because we simply saw it a couple years ago in Pittsburgh that Mike Tomlin made the wrong decision by bringing Russ in. Possibly lost his job over that decision. But I get what you're saying, but I think that was a little different. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes. We're talking about the most elite quarterback in football. I think when Russell Wilson was a stopgap quarterback, and they know he wasn't going to be the future for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think they wanted to make sure. That's why both of those guys was on like a one-year deal. And should they have made that decision to change out Russ? I don't think they should have. But ultimately, they were gonna go 10-7, 9-8 anyway.
Hey, Jolie, who was starting for Jordan when he retired? Then he came back. Was it Randy Brown?
Pete Myers. It was Pete Myers.
Yeah, Pete Myers. Sorry, dog. It's time you sit your ass on the bench.
Just say this, right? Say the Chiefs like, hold on, we're gonna hold you back a little bit, Mahomes. We rolling, and he go say, "Oh, I'm out of here. I demand a trade."
Actually, and you know what, Donald? They can trade him because if he's 4-0, 5-0, it'll be right before the trade deadline, and you can get some compensation if that happens because it's going to be teams like the Arizona Cardinals that's going to need a quarterback. Long as he goes to a destination where he has some familiar surroundings, I think Justin Fields will be fine. But we know he's going before he has any success, we know he's going to at least be on 6 teams.
I was saying, what if they keep playing Fields because they 5-0 and Mahomes say, okay, I want to trade.
Well, if they trade him, then they can get like 18 fucking first round draft picks off him because I'm willing to get that to him. Hey, appreciate you, big dog, man. Hope you come back through, man. I love that question. That was a very, very good question. Made me scratch my head for a second. I'm looking like, damn. But no, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback on the planet. You know me, I think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback that ever lived. But that's just me. But back to this, Donald, what do you think about the NBA expanding to 2 teams and 2 cities that are really starving for basketball, especially Seattle?
I think that, first of all, I think that it's a good move for the NBA. I mean, the purpose of the league is to make more money and have more parity. So with expansion, that's what you do. You water down the league for more parity, which is going to be more parity anyway. And they're going, and it's 2 spots starving for basketball. It's not like they put them in 2 dead zones where they won't make more money. So the NBA, that would be them just growing and bettering the league. Now, for a fan, a person might not want to see more teams, but as a business, as you run it, you got to make your business better. So I think it's the right move for the NBA to do going forward.
I just don't like it. What's up, Miss Glenn? She said, hello to the Against the Grain Sports family. Hope you're having a fabulous Monday. I don't like it, Donald. I don't like it.
No, I understand. I know a lot of the fans won't like it, but as far as the league, like a lot of people don't like the league today. But the purpose of anybody running the league, they'll say, what is the most important things for your league? It'll be It's a business to make the most money, and it'll be to have the most parity. So therefore, that's why I say the NBA is in the best place it's ever been. It's the most parity it's ever been, and it's making the most money.
Yeah,
So
but I'm hoping. I think a lot of it, they're making a lot of money because of those TV deals, and I think that LeBron James is really solely responsible. People who say they love or hate LeBron, LeBron James is solely responsible for a ton of those TV deals that they have right now. So, but y'all know, I want everybody, since we're talking about Vegas, to get your whatever betting apps that y'all gonna be on for this year's Field of 68, because we about to get you paid on Against the Grain Sports, guys. We Donald, I know Donald is, I don't want to tell his secrets, but he's really good when it comes to placing bets. I think Soul does a really good job of picking them. So get your pad and paper. Go ahead, get your betting app under Underdog. So what's the other ones? FanDuel.
Wherever you get your picks at.
Get all your betting apps together, and we're gonna get you paid on Against the Grain Sports. And we're gonna start up here with my man Drill Soul on Sports. His Texas Longhorns. I know he was shocked in the motherfucker when he seen the Texas Longhorns get on that 11th line to go against the NC State Wolfpack on that 11th line. They're gonna be right here in Dayton, Ohio, right here where we at. They're gonna be right here at UD Arena. Who you got, Texas or North Carolina State?
I'm gonna go Wolfpack. The Longhorns only got this slot because they're the Longhorns. I don't think they deserve this chance to even make the 64. So I'm gonna go North Carolina State for the dub.
Okay, Donald, who you got in this? Because I haven't even picked the game they're gonna play in. I hate when they do that because I don't know who they're gonna play. I can't pick that six slot. But who do you got between the Texas Longhorn and the NC State Wolfpack?
I'm gonna say Texas because I watched NC State. I watch Duke and stuff. NC State is in our conference.
Yeah,
these guys, they just walk and they get blown out more than anybody I know. I don't know how they made the tournament either. So I think that Dalen Swain probably have a lot of family in the building. He's only from an hour up the road, and they think he might have a big game. And I think Texas is gonna beat him.
I'm agree with you, Donald. I got Texas winning this game. I think that Texas had a very, very rough schedule. So I think they played a phenomenal schedule. I think they I think they were one game under 500 in the SEC. The SEC got the most teams into the tournament. So we know how difficult it is to play game in and game out in the SEC. And Texas was able to go 8-10-14. Now you look at the naked eye, you look at their record, you're like, But NC State was in a weaker conference, and they still couldn't get it done. And like I said, Swang, I think he's a guy that can potentially up his stock in the draft. He a guy can go for 30. He's right here from Columbus, Ohio. Yeah. So I think Texas wins this game. So
okay, we'll see.
Now this is the most bullshit right here. This is the most. Me and Soul was talking about. This is the most bullshit, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. All y'all listen. This is Against the Grain. So we're gonna say what the fuck we want to say. This is Miami of Ohio was the last team to get in, guys. You know they were the last. That were the last team. Why did they get faced against the SMU, who was already probably the number one team out of those first four? They probably was the number one team. So why did you face a 31-1 team against SMU? If SMU didn't have the injuries, SMU would have been a shoe-in to get in the tournament. Now they're healthy. Donald, talk to me about Miami being the last team to get in.
They didn't want to let them in, period. But then the thing is, they just want to prove a point. They probably know. I believe the SMU was going to beat. I think SMU going to beat up on them.
Yeah.
So therefore, it just goes to try to prove a point. Like, hey, we let y'all play in a play-in game, and y'all still couldn't get it done. So for future purposes, I don't have to let you in.
I can see that, and they're gonna be right. But guess what, Donald? They're gonna have a packed fucking house.
Yeah, they're gonna be down. They from down the street,
bro. They right. So Miami of Ohio is literally like 35 minutes away from Dayton, and that they gonna pack the. Wally Zerviak been to bring his ass back. Ron Harper, Wally Zerviak, both of those guys are grass from Miami of Ohio. Both of them better be in the building. So who you got, man? And then
Big Ben can't come.
No, because Big Ben gonna be racing motherfuckers. Like
he can't stay for the after party. He can't stay for the after party.
He can't step on no college campus.
He better not come in no bathroom with he better have security at all times.
Y'all calling Big Ben Sandusky?
Bro, they call no.
I'm telling you, my first cousin, me and her real close. She went to Miami of Ohio. She graduated. That's where she got her bachelor's from. And when she told me whatever they said he did, he done it.
And listen, it was my last job that I worked at, where I was a supervisor in Middletown, and I ain't gonna say her name, but it was a young lady that worked there, and she was in the quality department. She was like, I went to Miami of Ohio. She said, she was like, he's rude and he's very aggressive. And I'm looking like, he did that shit.
and she was saying that a lot of people don't agree with. Basically, they didn't charge. There's a lot of stuff to let him get away with, and basically he paid his way out of it. They got a brand new like a football practice facility, and I think he did something to pull some strings and got that put together. They're like, well, you do that and just stay on the way, and that's cool. And that I don't like that, because basically you just, in so many words, just telling the person, if you got money, you can really do whatever you want.
And that's the American way, apparently.
And so he got suspended those games. So it wasn't like he didn't take it. He had suspensions in those games. But speaking on the basketball court, so we talked about how this was bullshit, that they were the last team to get in, only having one loss in the conference tournament. Who do you think wins this game between Miami, Ohio, and SMU?
I'm definitely going. I know I normally don't go against Texas teams, but Miami, Ohio they're trying to give them the shaft. They're trying to do them wrong here. I think they should have been in the regular tournament. They have to play their way in. Like you said, they're basically playing a home game. I mean, if Tulane can make the 12-team playoffs in college football, why the Miami, Ohio can't make 64? Come on now. They should have been in there, and I hope they beat SMU by 20 points.
And this is the thing. This is what pisses me off. Not only should Miami, Ohio have been in the tournament, but they should have been like a 9 seed. They should at least have been a 9 seed. They were ranked in the top 25. So if you're in the top, like we looking at the metrics. If you're in the top 25, that means you're about a 6 seed.
Yeah, you're automatic shoe in.
So if you go the whole season without losing a game,
yeah.
I mean, I don't. No matter who you are, it's hard to do that. Even if you way better than the teams you play against, that just shows flat out mental toughness to win all those games in a row.
Yeah. They basically told Miami, Ohio, y'all got to be like the movie Remember the Titans. Y'all got to win every game. If you don't, we're not gonna let you go. That's basically what they told them.
And so this is the only thing that pissed me off. Like I said, they were the last team. They tried, like Donald said, they tried to match them up against the toughest opponent that they could. No disrespect, they should have been playing NC State. It will be a more favorable matchup if Miami of Ohio play NC State. But nevertheless, I still got Miami of Ohio winning this one and also causing some problems in the actual tournament. So I got Miami, and SMU is tough. They got Miller down there at the point guard position. They're tough, but I think Miami deserves it, and I think Miami is gonna make a run, at least get to the least second round of the playoffs. But now those are our playing. I didn't talk about the 16 seeds because we don't need to talk about that. But we are gonna talk about the games on Thursday. Solo on Sports, we got from your neck of the woods, TCU, who had played they had 11 wins in the Big 12. That's the most wins that they had ever with TCU. And then they're going against Ohio State Buckeyes, who have not been in the tournament in like 4 years. Ohio State played very good basketball down the stretch, got a couple wins in tournament, lost a tough one to Michigan, but they did go beat Iowa. They did beat Purdue. Talk to me, who you got in this matchup?
I've gone against 2 Texas teams already since we started talking tournament. I can't keep doing this, man. I have to go. I have to get back to Texas, baby. Horned Frogs for the dub over the Buckeyes.
Okay. Donald, what you think? TCU, man, they got a guy named Punch down there that's really good in the down low. They give him the ball, he can get a bucket for him. But Ohio State, man, they got Mobley, they got Thornton, one of the best backcourts in America, man. Talk to me about Ohio State.
I like Ohio State in this one. They've been tough down the stretch. But TCU is not bad. We're real close 8-9 matchup where I think they should be. But I'm gonna take Ohio State to win the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ohio State, man. I just think they're outside shooting, man. And I think Bruce Thornton is a guy that we should be commending. Stayed at Ohio State for 4 years. He didn't transfer. He's not even from Ohio. He's from Georgia. I think he's from Atlanta, Georgia. He never complained about nothing. This is his first tournament of his whole career, being there for 4 years. He averaged about 19, 20 points a game, got better every year. I think he's going to be the difference maker in this game, and that's why the Ohio State Buckeyes move on past Texas.
Where's that game played at?
I don't know where that one is. Where's that at?
I don't know. That's what I started to look up the locations earlier, but I didn't never get around.
I meant to put. That's my fault. I meant to put that on there, but my fault. I didn't put.
No, it's all good.
Donald, we got number 13 Troy against Nebraska. Why is this so significant? It's because the Nebraska Cornhuskers have never in team history won a postseason game, Donald. Not a fucking one. Donald, who wins this game? Can Nebraska really get their first victory in the tournament?
History will be made. Nebraska, get them a win.
Not if Jason got some. Not if the hefty lefty Jason got. He thinks that Fred Hoiberg cannot win in any postseason situation.
They'll beat Troy.
Okay, so what do you think? Nebraska was a surprise team this year anyway. What do you think that you think Nebraska can pull off history?
Yeah, they're the 4 seed. Tyronn Lue, the best basketball player they ever played in Nebraska. I'm going to go to get their first dub ever in the tournament. I'm going to go Nebraska with the win.
I'm going to go with Nebraska, but this is going to be a nail biter because it's going to be so much pressure on Nebraska. I mean, because you got to think, man, if they can get over this hump, I think they make a decent run in the tournament. But this is going to be the toughest of their games because it's everybody, every news outlet, every sports media outlet is going to remind them that this team has never won in the postseason. And Nebraska been around for 100 years. So I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on them. I think that they can handle the pressure. They got a lot of seniors. Mass is going to have to be a dog down low. He's a guy that can be a pick and pop guy that can shoot the three. I think Nebraska wins it, but it's not going to be easy. Troy is not going to go down without a fight. We know it's always a 13 that beat a 4. Not in this one. I got Nebraska to hang on, but it's going to be close. It's going to be one shining moment in this motherfucker.
If not now, then when? If they don't get it this year, they might not ever win.
Yeah, because they got a ton of seniors. So on sports, we got number 11 South Florida who got in late with their victory in the the American Conference,
the air conditioning conference.
They got in and they playing against Louisville, who I believe Louisville is so wishy-washy, man. They got a couple of studs, Caldwell, of course. They got Malik Brown Jr. What do you like and who do you like in this game?
It's very difficult to pick upsets in the tournament because you just don't know. It's one game and these teams never played each other for the most part. Louisville, they got a history of winning in the tournament, but that's not going to help them this week. I got South Florida with the upset against Louisville.
Okay, hey, we said
you got to pick some upsets, bro. It's going to happen.
We told y'all we going to get y'all paid. And Soul on Sports is starting it off. Make sure you mark that on your bracket. South Florida over Louisville. Donald, who you got between South Florida and Louisville?
I think Michael Brown is pretty banged up. Last couple games, he's been hurt. I don't know if he's playing or not, but I would still take Louisville over South Florida in this game. I think Louisville pull out the dub.
Hey, why did King? I knew King Minks was gonna get. He said, "Quit hating on the American Conference."
I thought it was the air conditioning conference. Ain't that what it's called now? Is that what we call it?
This is the AAC. So he's down there because the Memphis Tigers are in that conference. I knew he was gonna come out of nowhere and say something. But no, in this matchup, I can't pick the upset in this one. I believe that Louisville, even if Brown doesn't play, I think Corwell is a stud, man. We've seen him go off for 30-plus points a couple times this year. It's going to be some guys that we don't know their name. We will find out what their name is. It's going to be easy to pronounce after the tournament, after some of these games. But I got Louisville on this one.
That's why the tournament's so good, bro.
I want to ask King Meeks a question.
Go ahead.
Just type in the comments or something. How much of a leash do you think that Penny deserves at Memphis before his job is threatened? I know he's a legend there and he's Penny, but I know it's like an impatient thing. But they haven't really been. I mean, they went to the championship with Cal. So how long do you think Penny's leash will be? How long do you think he has left before this rope is snatched from under him?
They won 13 games this year, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it's got to be close.
So King Mink said, Jody, Soul, and Donald, I'm telling y'all now, I got the Razorbacks to run. He said to run the tournament. Okay. King Mink, go ahead and answer that question. But while we're waiting on King Mink to respond, Soul on Sport, what do you think? What's the leash for Penny Hardaway right now?
Like you said, like Donald said, man, little Penny, he's a legend down there. I would say this he had a losing record this year. If he don't bounce back after this year and get some good recruits and get that team back on track, this might be his last year.
I'm one of those guys that I'm a what have you done for me lately type of guy. Penny Hardaway has had a ton of recruits that have left. That's what I'm more concerned about. They had the one kid, Higgins. He went over to Kansas State last year. Mm-hmm. He lost him. He was one of the top scorers in the country. Ended up being one of the top scorers in the Big 12 going over to Kansas State. So my thing is how Penny is not keeping his guys there. So what is he doing when he getting them? And I don't see him developing none of his guys either. There's none of his guys that he's recruiting that are developing into players with him being so good. This is the prime example of a coach being very good like a Magic Johnson was. It's hard to get expectations from guys when you were that good. Like Penny was that guy.
Yeah, he was.
In the NBA and in college, he was something different. So I think that he's probably demanding too much out of these kids that they can't give him. And he's not getting those top 10 one and done guys like Cal was getting. So I say Penny got another year. King Ming said Penny deserves one more year depending on what he do next season. Mm-hmm. Donald, what do you think?
I will give him one more year because I don't want to just say fire him now, but I will give him one more year. But you got to produce, and I just being a guy, I think it should be a little easier for you to recruit because people look up to Penny. So that's what I'm worried about. And then like Jody, like you said, you made a good point. A lot of guys are walking out of the building on him. Like that's another thing too. So I don't know what's going on, but I would say one more year.
Hey, Donald, are they paying NILs and pennies down there? That's what you gotta think about. Another thing, man, it's expensive to fire coaches, bro. You fire this brother, you got to pay him his contract, the assistant coach. Then you got to bring in some more people, got to pay them. So like, nah, you're gonna play this out. We're gonna wait another year or so. We get our funds up. I don't know what kind of money they got down there in Memphis, but it's expensive to get rid of coaches, man.
But King Minks, he made a good point. He said, to be honest, if it wasn't Penny, he would have been fired.
Probably so.
Hey, if it was Elliot Perry.
The Sox?
Y'all remember Elliot Perry played for Memphis State before Penny got there. He had a good run with Memphis too. But Donald, we got number 12 High Point getting into the tournament. They're playing against a very good Wisconsin team who I believe has one of the top 2 or 3 backcourts in Blackman and Nick Boyd. Do you think Wisconsin can continue? Because this is the highest scoring Wisconsin team since like 1979.
Listen. I've been watching. I'll be into the small schools and stuff. This is where I pick my upset. I'm gonna go with High Point to get a win over Nebraska.
Okay. Soul on Sport. What do you think, man? That's a bold prediction from Donald. What do you think? You think High Point can pull the upset against Wisconsin?
First of all, I'm trying to figure out where the fuck High Point is. Where is it at?
It's a military school, I believe. Right.
They shoot that ball too. They shoot that ball.
Like Donald, hey, you can't be Donald. You could be right, bro, but I gotta go with Wisconsin. I mean, it's gonna be some upsets, but I don't think it's gonna be this. I'm gonna go the Badgers to get the dub on this one.
Yeah, I gotta go with the dub. I'm not ready to pick an upset yet. I don't think High Point is gonna be able to withstand that backcourt of Blackman and Nick Boyd. These guys are the real deal. Both of these guys are gonna be playing in the NBA. And I now what I do think they got an advantage of is gonna be offensive rebound. I don't think Wisconsin rebounds the ball well. I think that's what their Achilles heel is. And we know that High Point can score a lot. I wonder if they're going to get a lot of long rebounds getting in transition because both of these points, I think it's going to be an 80-90 point game, though, Donald. I think it's going to be an 80-90 point game.
Down too.
But I think Wisconsin wins this game just because of their backcourt of Boyd and Blackman. So
I love the underdogs, man, in these tournament games, man. I know you guys feel the same way, but because they got nothing to lose. They just out there hooping. They playing their game. And you better show up because you will be upset.
You will be upset. But, Donald, this is for you. And I know this is a laugher, but you got Duke going against Seattle. And the reason why this is not as easy as it may seem, Duke is down 2 starters. And you got to think about it. When they played Florida State had a really good chance of beating them. I think that, of course, they won and beat up on Clemson. But, Donald, you know better than anybody, being a Duke fan, not having Foster it's gonna hurt at some point. Maybe not in this game, but at some point, not having Foster in the lineup is gonna hurt.
We down Foster and the big. The small boozer played 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's in trouble. I think we'll beat Siena. We'll walk through them, and we got probably they said the toughest region also. Yeah. So therefore, it's not gonna be no cakewalk, especially being down 2 starters and the other big, which is gonna force Boozer to play the actual center a lot, and that could be foul trouble. So I say we weak Sienna, but going forward, it's not looking as promising as it was before.
And then the game that they potentially would play would be Ohio State or Texas
Right.
Christian, so TCU. So who you got, Donald? And Solon Sports number 16, Sienna and Duke. I know it's a no-brainer, but we got to think about past this game properly.
Having starters out can be a problem in a game like Sienna. Sienna, these guys probably been playing together 3 or 4 years, so they got a lot of chemistry. And Duke's bringing some guys off the bench to start. They have more talent, but I think Sienna might be able to hang with them by halftime. But I think in the second half, Duke, the talent is going to show out, and I think they'll dominate the second half of this game. So I think Duke will win this easily in the second half.
Yeah, King Ming said he think Duke is going to make it to the Sweet 16 and then lose probably in that one. Of course, I believe Duke is going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game going away because Boozer. What I will say about Boozer, I guess you could say about the Boozer brothers, is that he is probably the most decorated player we may have ever seen up to this point of his career. Because this guy has won 3 state championships in Florida. He won multiple AAU championships, and now he's pretty much going to be the player of the year, ACC player of the year. He's going to be the national player of the year, number 1 seed. Because they're the number 1 seed throughout all of college basketball. Can we start giving this man some flowers?
Yeah.
His resume is impeccable.
He's just not flashy like some other players, but he gets it done. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and his brother is right there with him. So I see the growth in his brother, because it's his twin brother. I see the growth. He's able, like Donald said, he played 40 minutes. And he was able to withstand those 40 minutes. He's hitting big time shots. I've seen him get a lot of good putbacks. He actually played against Virginia and got that steal at the end of the game. That was an underrated defensive play right there. So I think that Duke is going to get past Sienna, and I think they win by like 25 plus points. But when they play Ohio State or they play TCU, I think it's going to be Ohio State. That's going to be a matchup we need to pay attention to.
Yeah, you've seen the story about the Boozer brothers. Them not only the twins, they have an older brother. I saw it on the
play baseball, right? He played baseball.
I don't know if he plays any sports, man, but he was born with sickle cell. I saw a story on sports on ESPN today. He was born with sickle cell, and when the twins were born, somehow they used some of their placenta or something like that to help him with it. And apparently, he don't have sickle cell anymore. I was like, damn, I didn't know they could do shit like that.
I thought one of them had played baseball.
I don't know, but I know there's an older one. He's older than the twins. And he's the one that was born with sickle cell. But when his twin brothers were born, somehow they got some of their DNA or something and helped him, and he don't have sickle cell anymore. I didn't know they had a cure for that shit.
You know what that is?
What's that?
A lot of us ain't Carlos Boozer, so we bring up
that is very true.
We know you can't afford this procedure, but Carlos Boozer, okay, it's an option. It's an option for us.
Hey, Donnie, because we don't know Magic Johnson gonna live all of us.
Y'all crazy for that. We got another 12-5. Now, mind you, all these games we're picking are Thursday games, guys. They're Thursday games. We'll pick Friday games tomorrow. Donald, McNeese against number 5, Vandy. Vandy made it all the way to the SEC championship game, losing to Arkansas. Who do you like in this one?
I like Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, he showed me a lot in the SEC. All season, though, but the SEC tournament, they tough. I think they get them a win. Vanderbilt.
So, what do you think?
I agree with Don. I've been impressed with the Commodores. They had a good tournament. McNeese, I think that's Louisiana. I think that's where it is. I'm going with Vanderbilt for the dub.
Hey, guys, this is where I pick my upset. This is when the 12 beat the 5. And I watched Vandy play all year. I remember they started the season 16-0. I think they got one of the most phenomenal backcourts in America with Duke Miles as well as Tyler Tanner. But I seen that they were satisfied after they beat Florida. And that's why they went and kind of got beat up on by Arkansas. And I think sometimes when you're not used to winning, sometimes you get a hangover. And I think that beating Florida might even be the hangover into this Thursday game. I like McNeese to make this upset, guys. So you heard it here on Against the Grain Sports. Check that pick out. McNeese beating Vandy in this one. That's my upset so far. McNeese beating Vandy. King Ming said he got Vandy. Oh, what a shock! He picked the Tennessee team. What a shock! I'm just messing with.
Vandy might be the most improved program in both major sports of the year. They got to get that award at least.
That's true, Donald. Now you got North Dakota State. They're going against number 3 Michigan State. Michigan State seemed to play better in the tournament. Talk to me. Who you like in this one?
Take Michigan State. I don't really see too many upsets, especially the top 3 seeds. I'm gonna take Michigan State to beat up on them.
Okay. So who you got?
All the Spartans all day. They're going to make a deep run in this tournament. So they're going to win this one easily.
Yeah, I think we got to give at least Izzo is a damn good coach in the first 2 rounds. You're not beating Izzo in the first 2 rounds. Now, when you get to the Sweet 16, his record is not so great, but he's still really good. He plays. I mean, he has his guys ready, battle tested. He got some freshmen. Scott is ready to step into the scoring role. He's been playing. I told y'all, watch out for the kid, Cam Ward. Not the football player, but the basketball freshman, Cam Ward, only averaged about 5 or 6 points on the season. Watch how he catapults himself to being a double-digit scorer, maybe 11 to 12 points, doubling his average. And then going into next year, he'll be a guy to watch out for. Cam Ward is going to start stepping up. I like Michigan State in this one, in this game right here. King Mingston, he said, I'm not picking the Vols, get them. And he don't like Tennessee, but he like Vandy, he like Memphis. I get okay, that's cool. I can live with that.
That's the other UT. I get it.
Yeah, nobody cares about the other burnt orange. Solo on sports, we got Hawaii. I haven't seen Hawaii in the tournament since they had Anthony Carter. They got Hawaii is in the tournament. They're going against Arkansas, man, who won the SEC tournament behind, of course, Darius A-Cup Jr. Talk to me about this one.
A-Cup is making a name for himself already. He's going to have one of those Dwayne Wade type tournaments. He's going to really make a name for himself. He might catapult himself up to NBA draft. So I'm definitely picking Arkansas to win this game.
Okay. Donald, what do you think about this?
I'm definitely picking Arkansas.
And see, I'm picking Arkansas, but as much as, I rave about Darius A-Cup, they got a lot of talent.
Yeah,
Billy Richmond is one of the most – he hustles so fucking much. Have you seen that guy when you go play pickup ball? He never talked, but he would slide and dive for the ball.
The extra.
That's Billy Richmond. Billy Richmond and he got major hops. He's gonna be that X factor because King Mink said he think that Arkansas can kind of run it a little bit. We know about what Darius A-Cup gonna give you. We know about Brissell, the big fella. We know about Pringle in the middle. But this kid, Richmond, and we know about the Malik Thomas, who is very good. Remember Malik Thomas came from Kentucky, followed Cal down in Arkansas. But this guy, Billy Richmond, is the glue on this team. He's the glue. But the problem, Donald, is Arkansas only go about 7 deep.
Yeah, that's it.
They only go about 7 deep. If you go 7 deep with some
7 that's pretty solid.
All right.
You go 7 deep with some women. I think they enjoy that.
Hey, Joey, a strong 7 to get the job done, baby.
Hey, strong 7 get you some new Jordans. Hey, there's King Mink said, question for Donald. He says A-Cup made himself get picked in the top 5. Donald, that's a question by King Mink to you, Donald.
I don't know. I think he got a strong case for it. Now I think he will be like that 4 or 5, so it'll depend on what the team needs. Because I think you're gonna have Peterson, DeBansta, and Boozer are going to be the top 3.
What about Wilson?
About 4th. That's what I'm saying. You got Wilson, A-Cup. Wilson and A-Cup probably would be my top 5, but at the same time, it depends because some other guys out there. So it depends on what somebody else needs.
So what do you think, so?
I think that it's all depending on this tournament. Whoever shows out, I'm telling you, man, these guys are so talented. I think this tournament is going to mean a lot for the draft stats. They're going to say, this dude's big time already. And I think if he has a good tournament, he easily be a top 5 pick.
He got the right. He got the right coach for it.
But he does.
They say after tournament games when they win, he said before the game, they said Cal's his speech is, if we win, y'all make more money, right? He said every game you win the tournament, you can guarantee 5 to 10 more million for your life. He said they said after the game, he come to the locker room in his post game. He always going there talking about ching ching ching.
I would love to have played for Cal. I'm gonna be real with you. I would have loved to play for him. But this is the thing. And Donald, you saw that team I put up there. That 2010 Kentucky team was absolutely fucking loaded. Hey, they had Patrick Patterson. They had Eric Bledsoe, John Wall.
Eric Bledsoe.
They had DeMarcus Cousins, and who was they fit? Because it was 5 guys that.
John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins. Damn, who was they fit?
It was because 5 starters all made it to the NBA.
And then the one dude went to the NBA, but he only played like 2 minutes.
Was it Willie Cauley-Stein? Was it?
No, it wasn't Willie
Cauley-Stein was like 14.
I just put it on the page too. I can't remember.
And I can't think of it. And they had another guy, a big man. I forget his name.
Remember they had Leggett too. Leggett played in the NBA for a hot second too. He was off the bench.
Yep. They had a guy who averaged like 2 points, and he went.
Darius Miller. Darius Miller.
Yep.
But King Ming said that he said Richmond's daddy was a real hooper here from Memphis. Because Billy Richmond, that kid is something special. Yeah, Eric Bledsoe was on that team.
Eric Bledsoe.
But yeah, I think as far as A-Cup, the question that King Minks asked, I think A-Cup is a top 5 pick. I think what it's going to be is how is Kingston Fleming's going to play?
Yeah.
Because they're going to be 5 or 6. I think the first 4 spots are solidified. Like I said, I think number 1 to me, I would still go with Caleb Wilson. But with the injury, I think they're going to go with Banza. I think they're going to go 2, Darian Peterson. 3, they're going to go Carl. I think they go Wilson. I think Boozer go 4. And I got Darius. Right now, the draft right now, I had Darius A-Cup at 5 and Kingston Fleming's at 6.
But to Donald's point, it depending on the organization. Let's say Dallas ends up with that 3rd pick. Do they take Boozer or do they take a guard? You know what I mean? Because they really need some guard play. I mean, it depends on what the team needs are somewhat.
I think it's best available. I think at that point, nobody – they play positionless basketball now.
Yeah.
So I think it's best available player. I don't think you play around with that if you can.
I've been seeing a lot of people look at A-Cup's numbers in the season, and they saying it's the best. This might be the best guard in college that Cal ever had.
It might be far as this
year and what he doing.
But you got to think about what he had to do and what talent was around him.
Exactly.
When Derrick Rose was at Memphis, Derrick Rose
they had a better team. They had a nice team.
John Wall had a loaded roster. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had a loaded roster. So all these guards he had loaded rosters. I think that this roster is not as loaded. I think he made Arkansas better. So that's why I say about A-Cup. So you right about his numbers. And also he won SEC Player of the Year as a freshman. That's very impressive to win SEC Player of the Year. But Donald, what do you think about this one? VCU, I was a little pissed because UD lost to VCU. And the reason why they lost is UD could not hit a fucking free throw. UD could not win a fucking free. Oh my God, they couldn't hit a free throw. But it's crazy. If UD would have won this game, Miami of Ohio wouldn't have made it into the tournament. You know that, right? Because VCU was going to get in regardless. Donald, who you liking this one? VCU against North Carolina.
Speaking of UD, that's another guy they're trying to run out of town, literally run out of this town. But Anthony Grant. But VCU. Now I'm not taking VCU to beat Carolina. I'm gonna take Carolina to get a win. I don't like picking them, but I will pick them just because I do believe they're gonna win the game, beat VCU, even without Wilson. I think they beat VCU.
What do you think? So
here's my upset. Another one. I'm going to VCU Rams. The upset, the People's Champ Tar Heels. I think North Carolina might be in trouble here. I think the Rams upset. They've been known to upset teams in this tournament. And I think they get another. They take down another giant this year.
I love it. I gotta go. I gotta go to North Carolina. The reason being is they got some hungry seniors, Dixon and Trimble, and they got a very good. This guy could be a lottery pick in most drafts. And Henry Versailles, their center that can shoot the 3. He's a 7-foot stretch 5. If he was in any other draft, we'll be talking about him being a top 10 pick. It's just this draft is just loaded. I got North Carolina winning this game. I just don't think Dixon and John Powell and Tribble gonna let them lose, man. I think that you're gonna see some outside shooting out of those guys. And VCU, I think, is going the clock is gonna strike midnight on VCU. We got Jason, the hefty lefty, said they got Hubert Davis though. Jason, I ain't about to start with you. And Jason, I got my ticket. I'll see you Saturday at Wright State Arena. See my nephew play. They're playing against Hilton Bradley. So yeah, I'll be there for that. So this goes to you. Texas A&M versus St. Mary's. St. Mary's got in there with an at-large bid out of, to me, I think one of the weaker conferences. That's the conference that got Gonzaga, which Gonzaga won't be in next year. They'll be in the Pac-12 or whatever they're going to call it. I don't know what they're going to fucking call it. There's only going to be like 8 teams in that motherfucker. Who you got, Texas A&M or St. Mary's?
I'm going to Aggies to win this slight upset. I'm going to go Aggies.
Okay. Donald, who you got?
I'm with Soul. I'm gonna go with Texas A&M.
Come on, did I change that? My fault. I didn't mean to say.
No, you good.
I'm going Texas A&M. I watched St. Mary's play about 3 games this year because, of course, they come on really late. They took Gonzaga to the brink, but this would be the year that they would have beat Gonzaga. And the reason why I say that because Gonzaga was missing a lot of players due to injury. Their best player is still out injured. So I think that Texas A&M, who had a very good record, at one point in time, they were the number 1 team in the SEC as far as record-wise. I think Texas A&M is a gritty team. I think they 10 seed is. I think they did them dirty with the 10 seed, in my opinion. So I like Texas A&M to beat St. Mary's because I don't think St. Mary's can deal with that physicality of what the Texas Aggies are going to bring. Texas A&M Aggies are going to bring. So I got Texas A&M getting a slight upset, so to speak. So on sports, we got Penn. Penn had a guy yesterday. I watched the game against Yale. This guy had 44 points. His name is TJ Powers. 44 points, 14 rebounds, and he put the game in overtime, which they just got past Yale. Yale didn't have any answer for him. They're going against Illinois. Illinois lost the game in overtime to Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament. Who do you like in this game right here?
I'm going to go Fighting Illini to beat Penn in this game.
Okay. Donald, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with the Fighting Darren Williams and Luther Heads. I'm gonna go. I'll give me Illinois.
I got to go Illinois because they got one of the best freshmen in the country in Wagler. And their front line is very gritty. They got a very gritty Bowman. Their guard is back. I just think that they're very gritty, and we can't forget that they got Pedro Stojakovic's son, who is a lot more athletic than his daddy. He's a lot more athletic than his dad. I think that's what it does. I got Illinois winning this game, but Penn, don't sleep on Penn. Even though Penn only got 18 victories. They're going to have to do something with that kid, TJ Powers. That guy played phenomenal yesterday.
How athletic is
he? He's dunking on cats.
No, I mean, he played for that Kings team, so you never know whose parent. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about Pedro?
You got the Doug Christies and the Chris. You never know what that team they was on. So
Yo, hold on. Yo, I just got what he said. He don't know who his daddy is.
Oh, shit. That went over my head.
Yo, it might be Mike Bibby's. That might be Chris Webber's son. I don't know.
Where you get them hops from, right?
Yo, because Webber's a little. Because we know Pedro couldn't jump over a piece of paper. And his son is athletic as shit.
The kid that he raised.
I don't know, man. I don't know who raised him. That was a good one. But this is the 8-9 matchup, Donald, between St. Louis, who they actually beat St. Louis, who have been in the top 25 the whole year, and then they're going against Georgia, who I don't know what Georgia team is going to show up, Donald. I have no. Who you got?
I'm gonna take Georgia just because when they play good, they actually are good. They just more inconsistent than you could think of. So, but I'm gonna take Georgia to knock St. Louis off.
Okay. So who you got?
I'm going St. Louis. I don't trust the inconsistent basketball team. I'm going St. Louis. You don't know what team's going to show up in Georgia. I'm going St. Louis.
I'm going to go with Soul, man. I got St. Louis in this game. I think St. Louis lost a very tough game against UD, and they didn't lose many games this season. They're a veteran-led team, and Georgia's best player is Wilkerson, not Wilkins. Wilkinson. He's the top scorer. Like you said, Don, they're too fucking inconsistent. You don't know what Georgia team is going to show up. We know what team St. Louis. St. Louis is very physical. Reminds you of an SEC school. I like St. Louis to win this game. And a slight, you would call it upset because they're the 9th seed. So I got them. Donald, Kennesaw State getting into the tournament. They were very excited to get in with the 14th seed. They're going against your favorite team out west in the Gonzaga Bulldogs. So you got this one.
Kennesaw State. That wouldn't be like HBCU, would it?
I don't know. It's something like that.
Well, I gotta give them a chance. I gotta give them a chance against Gonzaga. but I'm gonna say Gonzaga to get a win. Like I don't think none of the top 3 teams are gonna lose in the first round.
Hey, Jason called him Cream Abdul-Jabbar. He said at St. Louis. He called him Cream Abdul-Jabbar. So who you got in this one, man? Kennesaw State against Gonzaga.
Gonzaga's head coach a few days ago when they won the tournament, he hyping up the conference. Well, conference is getting much better, and the competition, y'all just not that good. But I think they'll beat Kennesaw State in this game. I got Gonzaga winning the first round at least.
Yeah, I got Gonzaga win this game. I'm not really a true big fan of those guys. I think that they tried to play a good non-conference schedule the first couple games of the year, but like I said, their best player is still out on injury reserve. I don't know if he comes back in the tournament or not. Until they get into a better tournament and a better conference, I think they'd be in the Big 12. I mean, the Pac-12 next year. I think they should have went to the Big 12. Honestly, they could have went to the Big 12 when Arizona State and then went over. They should have joined them.
Who's in the Pac-12 left?
I think they still got Oregon State and they still got Washington State out there, and they supposed to add them. I think UNLV is supposed to go out there. I want to say it's Boise State supposed to be going. It's supposed to be like Boise State, UNLV. I don't know if Hawaii is going there. I'm not sure of the teams, but I think they're gonna have about 8 teams next year, and Gonzaga is gonna be one. We know they're not gonna bring a football team over there, so
Oh no.
all they're gonna have is the John Stockton. So I got Gonzaga winning this one. Jason said Gonzaga got 4 players. That
got with the porn stats. What was his name?
Adam Morrison. What about Dan Dickow?
What a name.
Jason said that Gonzaga got 4 players that's 23 years or older on their roster. That's crazy work. Like what's going on, man? Like that's crazy. Man.
Those dudes should be getting their second NBA contract by now.
If you're not that good, just say that. If you're not that good, just say that. And then last but not least, man, rounding out the games for Thursday, we got number 15 Idaho going against number 2 Houston. Houston was very close to getting the number 1 line. I still think they should have got the number 1 line over Florida because Florida took that loss to a bad loss by 17 to Vandy, but that was just me. But so who you got? Houston and Idaho.
H-Town taking down them Idaho hoes. I'm gonna go H-Town, baby.
No doubt. Who you got, Donald?
This might be the most culturally opposite game that we ever seen in a tournament. But I'm gonna go with Houston to blow them out.
Yeah.
Anybody ever been to Idaho?
No, I haven't.
I got a dude in South Dakota right now, and I said, "Is there really people out there?" He said, "Well, if that's what you call him," he said, "because he's there for a job." And he said, "Out here, you can work all the overtime you want because it's literally nothing else to do. All those states over there, I just never thought of people actually being there at all."
I'm gonna be real with you. Y'all better hope Against the Grain Sports don't make where we making fucking $15 million a piece. Because I'm moving to Montana. And all I'm gonna have is enough Wi-Fi for us to do the show. That's like I'm gonna turn into a real cowboy. I'm not even lying, Donald. I swear to God. I'm gonna turn into a real fucking cowboy. I'm gonna get some fucking pigs and goats. I'm gonna be riding a horse. I'm gonna have me a little plane. If I feel like going to the city, I'm gonna
this nigga gonna be Black Yellowstone, huh, Joe?
Hey, y'all think I'm playing? I'm dead ass serious. If we come up, which I know we about to, all I'm gonna be doing is the podcast. And when I'm not doing the podcast, Donald gonna be like, "Hey, I'm like, yeah, I'm out here. I'm out here with the dogs. I'm out here. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of fucking dogs. I don't even like dogs, but guess what? I'm gonna have dogs. I'm gonna have horses. I'm gonna have the best fucking bacon known to man because I'm gonna have pigs and cows. I'm gonna be out there feeding it. I'm gonna be doing crops and shit. I'm telling y'all, I'm not playing. I'm moving
Hey, Joe, you know what's crazy about places like Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota? I've been to all those places. The smartest animal there is probably a bear. You know those videos they show them bears? Them motherfuckers really that smart. Them motherfuckers will walk in your house, bro, and make a sandwich, open the refrigerator. Joe, you ready to wake up? Get you a bottle of water. You see a big ass bear making a sandwich in your kitchen. You ready for that?
Hey, listen, I'm gonna have a pet bear.
Motherfuckers are smart.
I'm gonna have a pet bear. I'm gonna probably have a couple fucking wolves and shit. Like y'all think I'm playing? I'm gonna have my hat on. I'm gonna have a hat.
Dancing with the wolves.
I'm gonna grow a big ass beard, and only time I'm gonna shave is when we get on here to do the show. That's all I'm gonna do.
We're gonna have bears out there like bro man from the 5th floor.
From the 5th floor. Man. Hey, King Ming said, "I know plenty about Idaho." He said, "Could it be Houston's year finally?" Jason said, "A Black John Dustin." But yeah, I got Houston in a blowout in this game. I think Houston has more offense than they had last year, even though they suffered defensively, losing some of the guys. But I think Usain and Kingston Flemings and Sharp, I think those guys got enough offense. I think they make a deep run. I think they should have got a number 1 seed, in my opinion, man. They didn't get it. And I think Florida's a good team, but I think Florida showed a lot of vulnerability in that game. Now that we talked about the games from Thursday, Donald, was there any teams that didn't get in that you were like scratching your head about?
Nah, I'm usually a component of a lot of the teams about the 68 teams. I always believe about 18 to 24 teams are just filler teams anyway. So if you didn't get it, if you can't get it out of 68, I honestly don't really believe you kind of deserve it anyway. Because you just good for the first weekend. Just some revenue.
But so what did you feel about Auburn not getting into the tournament? A lot of people thought that they played one of the most difficult schedules in America. They did have 16 losses, only 17 victories. What did you think about Auburn not getting in?
Well, kind of like Don said, somebody's going to get left out. And if they would have made the tournament where they really going to make a run, I guess we'll never know. Like Kanye West said, I guess we'll never know. Sometimes there's so many teams that make it. If you're not good enough to make that 60-plus team, you're probably not good enough to make a real run in a tournament anyway. So it is what it is.
I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. I didn't see not one team that I was disappointed that didn't make it. Only person I scratched my head was Indiana, but then I looked at their conference record. They got Lamar Wilkerson, one of the top scorers in the country, one of the top scorers in the Big Ten. I would have wanted to see what he can do in the tournament. Yeah. But like I said, they won a lot of games. They lost a lot of games they should have won this year. Indiana, I don't know what has happened to Indiana basketball. The last time I believe when the last time was they in the Final Four? 02, Donald? They went to the Final Four in 02.
I don't even remember.
Like, when was the last time Indiana had a big-time player? With Oladipo was probably last.
Oladipo and Yogi Ferrell.
Yeah, it's been a long time since Indiana has really had a player like that.
Well, they're football school now.
They won't put the names on the back. They won't put the names on the back of their jerseys.
Right, that's another thing. Like, that's whack to me.
Nobody wants to come play for that.
I don't even know who you are. Like, they now back in the day when Indiana was running off championships in the 70s and 80s, I understand that we're one. But now, if I get recruited, you can't even put my name on the back of the jersey. Why the fuck I want to go there?
But no, they don't put their names on there, do they? The football team?
They don't. I think that's whack. I think that's high school shit. And even in high school, they get into where in high school they putting the names on the back of fucking jersey. King Ming said Bruce Pearl was a little upset about that because his son did get in the tournament. But so what did y'all think about like a team like San Diego State, Donald, not getting in? What did you feel about that?
Listen, so a lot of people like to be number 69, but if you can't be 68, you're gonna be 69 somewhere else because you wasn't good enough to make it.
Yeah, what do you think about that San Diego State, who couldn't really boast? I guess they could have won a tournament and called it a day.
There's only one team I have that I think they're making them earn this. That's Miami, Ohio. I think they're doing them kind of dirty. Everybody else is like, it is what it is. You just didn't make it. Sorry. NIT still hiring.
And actually, I'm really proud of the teams like Dayton, who took the NIT bid. Auburn took the NIT bid. I'm really happy they didn't pull a Notre Dame and say, "Oh, I'm gonna take my ball and go home." They actually letting these kids continue to play basketball and play to the NIT. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I never understood that when people be like, "Well, we don't want to accept the bid." Like you're too good to be there. Evidently, if you was too good to be there, you would have made the tournament.
Yeah.
But I will say, out of not talking about the teams that didn't make it or the bubble teams, but some of the teams inside of the tournament that I felt like got done a little bit dirty. I think St. John's got dirty. You win the tournament in the Big East and you get a 5th seed. Like, so when you seen that, did you think that they got done dirty? Plus, that region is full of some of the best coaches in America in that one region. Some legendary coaches, but did you think St. John's got done a little dirty after winning the Big 12?
No, Joe. If you look at other conferences that have 2 or 3 really top level teams, look like you just mentioned, Arizona and Houston, they both could have been 1 seeds. I mean, they're in the same conference, so eventually if you want the lesser conferences, you're going to have to dip down a little bit.
Okay, Don, what you feel about that? St. John's getting 5 seed.
St. John's has some bad losses in the season. Like, y'all did win. Y'all got a couple wins. Then y'all won the conference tournament, but it was some bad losses in there. So to be about on that 5 line, I could see them at 4 or 5. I could have seen them getting a 4 seed, but that 4 or 5 is about right to them.
But this is the thing I think about, guys. When I see St. John, I thought St. John's got a raw deal because they actually beat UConn twice. The only time they had a horrible loss the last time. Remember they missed 24 shots in a row and they got blown out of the gym by over 30 points. But they did beat St. John's twice. I mean, St. John did beat UConn twice, and I'm like, that got to mean something. And the 5th seed, and you had multiple teams get into the tournament because you had Villanova that got in.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like nobody else got in and got another at-large bid. And then Seton Hall was right on. That's the team I thought probably could have got in over fucking Texas or North Carolina State was probably Seton Hall. But I look at that. I think it's a little disrespectful, Donna. I mean, in my opinion. What do you think?
My thing is with that, when a team get a raw deal, I think that it's not even about that team getting a disservice. I think a team that got to play them earlier than what they have to get the disservice. Like if you got somebody who probably could have been a 2 or a 3 seed, but now they at 5 or 6 or whatever the case, you'll play them. The 1 seed or somebody have to play them earlier than they would have had to. I think it does the disservice to the teams who earned the top seed also.
Well, the thing is though, Joe, I think a good coach uses his motivation. He'll tell his players, look, they don't respect us. We should have been higher than that, but it is, well, let's go show him that we should have been a higher seed. I think a good coach will use this to his advantage.
So speaking of team, now let's go individual play. So who do you think is going to shine in this tournament that we probably don't know about? Or what freshman is going to put their stock? Or what player is going to be like, they may have been good, but now we're going to really know who this player is?
I'm telling you that Darius, that kid from Arkansas, I got this feeling, man, he's going to have a really strong Dwayne Wade type tournament. There's going to be talk of him possibly being the first pick in the draft after this tournament.
Ooh.
I think he's going to really shine in this tournament. And I think that it's going to be talk when the draft comes around. Are they going to take this kid number 1 in the draft? I think he's going to have that good of a tournament.
So, Donald, who you think, man? Who is somebody we need to pay attention to that they may not know about?
I think AJ DeBanster is about, because he's already been going crazy as of late anyway. And I think he's really about to play for, like you asked him the other day, do you want to go number 1? He said, yeah. I think he's really going to try to show out and prove that he should be the number 1 pick. So I think he's going to have like the best, a game or two, because that's probably all they play. But if they play a game or two, I think he's going to have the best game or two in the tournament.
I want everybody to listen up. It's a guy I've been raving about him all year. His name is Donovan Dent. He's the point guard for UCLA. I think this kid, Donovan Dent, he's a transfer. I think he came from like New Mexico State or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. He had a tremendous Big Ten tournament run. He had a triple-double in one game, and then he had another masterful. Then he ended up losing. But it wasn't because of his hustle. I've liked him all year. This is a guy that dictates the tempo out there for UCLA. I think this is one of those tournaments where he's like UCLA got some good games that they can probably potentially get into the Sweet 16. And I think he's one of those guys that when it's said and done, he probably is not on anybody's draft board, but he'll be a guy that potentially can go early in the second round of the NBA draft after this. So I'm gonna say one of my guys is definitely Donovan Dent out of UCLA. My man Paul said he totally agreed with Soul on A Cup is legit. So you got another guy that potentially can rise to the occasion. Pause.
Ooh, who else is taking blue chew in college basketball? I can't think of anybody right now, man. Give me time to think about that.
Donald, you got one?
I think Isaiah Evans got a lot to prove. I think that honestly, I think he's the most NBA skill-wise talented player on the Duke roster. And I think in this tournament, he's going to have to show it because with the lack of bench and the lack of depth, and I can see people putting more game plans around Boozer, I think he's going to be the one to have to show up. So I'm looking forward to see what he do.
I'm going to stick with the Big Ten. I'm going to stick with guards, and I'm talking about Bruce Thornton. I spoke about him for Ohio State. Jason just said it, Bruce Thornton. Bruce Thornton is a guy, man. This guy can fill it up, man. He's one of the toughest competitors. When I was covering Ohio State about 2 or 3 years ago, that's when I first seen him live, when I was covering for Against the Grain Sports Live, and I seen him play against Illinois, and I said, this kid is pretty good, man. He was out of the state of Georgia. I'm like, how did Georgia let him out of that state where all those teams, Georgia Tech and Georgia, even Georgia State, for him to come up to Ohio State, man? But me and Jason are thinking the same. I think that Thornton is a guy that I told you potentially, if they can get past Texas Christian, TCU, they could potentially go against Duke. And with Duke not having Foster in the backcourt, that could spell problems for Duke not being it. Because, like I said, Boozer, the smaller Boozer, will have to check Bruce Thornton. And I think that's going to be too physical, imposing for Bruce Thornton. So I think Bruce Thornton is definitely a player that we need to watch out for. King Ming said A-Cup, Boozer, DeBansa, and he said, hell, depending on how Peterson feels, how he will play. Jason said Kingston Fleming. She said Bruce Thornton is a Georgia football legend. Legacy. So you ready for another one?
What about that kid from Arizona, Pete?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Cole Pete.
he can really shine because he's got a good team around him. He can shine and possibly move up with the draft board as well.
Donald, who else you think?
What's the guard? The Michigan State.
Oh, Fierce.
It's Fierce. I think I think Fierce. I think he'll shine in the tournament. I really think he do. I think Michigan State will get a couple wins.
I got a guy that, man, he's been very versatile in the Big 12 tournament, and we're talking about Josh Jefferson. This kid right here, man, he played phenomenal in the tournament. He's about 6'8". He's a guy that can kind of play the point forward position. He passes really well out of the post. He was actually putting in work against Cole Pete against Arizona in the game that they lost. Remember, they lost on that last second shot by Bradley. But I think that Jefferson is a guy that can potentially work his way into the late to mid first round from Iowa State, because we know Iowa State is going to make a run, and I think they got a really good team. They're really well coached. He's so versatile, Donald. Like, Jefferson is so versatile. We don't see guys that can give you 17, 8, and 5 on a consistent basis, and that's what he can do, Donald. You got anybody else?
Not really. I'm just ready for the action to start.
Yeah.
I just want some people to kind of pay attention to some of these players out here, man. It's gonna be like I just made mention early in the show about TJ Powers out of Penn. The guy dropped 44 points and 14 rebounds, and he shot bad during the regular season from the free throw line, but he was 7 for 7 in that game. Like, how do you shoot sub 60% and then you're unblemished in a championship game against Yale, who was the number 1 seed? So I'm just excited to see some of these players that for some of these teams. Now, Donald, give me a team that potentially overall that we need to really pay attention to.
A team, not my team to win, just a team that can get a few wins. I like the Kansas Jayhawks. I've been watching Bill Self. He's trying to downplay his team. Like, we suck. And I think they're gonna surprise some people and at least get through the Sweet 16.
So what do you think?
I'm going A-Cup again. I'm going Arizona. I'm at Arkansas, man. With that 7-man roster they're rolling with, if they keep people out of foul trouble, I think they'll be fine. Because, you know, if you're rolling with 7 players, nobody can really get in foul trouble. So I'm gonna go Arkansas.
I'm gonna go Texas A&M. I think they play a real physical brand of basketball, and I think that they got a good draw in the brackets that they're in. They played in the SEC, and I think, like I said, the SEC is a tough conference to play in. And I think Texas A&M will fuck around. We look up and they're in the Sweet 16. I would not be surprised to see the Texas A&M Aggies in the Sweet 16. Now, give me a team that you think is going to make an early exit, Donald.
Ooh, out of there. The Wisconsin Badgers.
Okay. So who do you think is going to make it? And I ain't saying they're going to lose in the first round, but they're going to make an early exit earlier than expected.
Kentucky. They made the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to go Kentucky. They've been pretty inconsistent this year. I'm going to go Kentucky. I'm
going to tell you a team, even though they won the Big Ten, I think that the Purdue Boilermakers I won't be shocked if they get put out in the second round. Purdue, to me, is, I think, because in game one, they're going to win that game, and Braden Smith is going to break the all-time assist record. I think he breaks the all-time assist record because he's only 2 behind. He's 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead. I just think that Purdue just does not look athletic enough for me. They got a lot of talent. I think they got some shooters. Smith is really good. Lawyer is really good. Cuff played really well against Michigan, but he played against another big that was kind of sleep-footed. You know, he went against big and Michigan. He didn't go against a very athletic big. So their most athletic player is CJ Cox. Pause.
That's Cox with an X.
CJ Cox. But I think he's the most athletic player that they have on the team, and he's not. I think because he's the only sophomore that's starting. I think next year it'll be his team because all those guys will be gone. But you know, And then also Kaufman Wren was nursing his shoulder, Donald, yesterday. So is he gonna be healthy? King Mink said North Carolina is a team that he feel like can be upset. Jake said Wisconsin got winners back for the tourney. I think that could they can make a run because they do got winners. Good stuff. Down Jason said that one, and then King Mink said Miami, Ohio, Illinois. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see this tournament. We've been waiting this whole year. I've been watching. This is the most college basketball I'll probably watch in, man, about 15, 20 years. I was really locked in this year with a lot of these teams. So just shits and giggles. I'm gonna go around before we get out here. Donna, who you think is? Give me your final four teams. Do you think that all the number ones gonna be chalk, or what? Give me your final four teams.
I will have to all the way look at the regions. I don't want to pick nobody in the same region.
In the same region, yeah.
Right, but I think you got Arizona and Arizona. I think, like I said, I think Arizona's going to win it. Then you got Arizona and Michigan, and then I would say I could see. I think Houston, maybe like a Houston and I don't know that fourth team is. I want to say Florida, but they just showed me something different the other day. But I want to say I'm gonna still stick with Florida just because.
Okay. So who do you think, man? I know you're not looking at your brackets, but give me four teams that potentially could at least, even if they're in the same bracket, we'll go back and correct it. But who do you think can actually get there?
Definitely Arizona. I'm going Arkansas. Definitely one of my sleeper teams this year. Michigan State. I like their coach. He's definitely a tournament guy, and I'm gonna go Michigan.
And see, this is what I'm scared with Michigan. I'm scared with Kasem going down. That injury hurts. Duke, their two injuries. Foster is a really big loss for those guys. Like injuries around the country. That's why nobody talking about Texas Tech. If Texas Tech had J.C. Toppins, we'll be talking about them in a different light.
Oh yeah.
We don't know if Kaufman Wren is going to be healthy enough for Purdue. So it's just too many teams that got a lot of. And let's talk about Alabama. Holloway may not be playing because he got caught with marijuana and he's away from the team until they done with the investigation. So Alabama could take a huge knock and we'll talk about them tomorrow because they're in the Fridays games. I'm really scared about that. I'm wondering if they can sort this out so Holloway can play because I think if Holloway don't play, they get upset in the first round. I think I don't know who they playing, but it's a 4 against a 13. That's going to be an upset if he doesn't play. He's the second leading scorer on that team. And I'm like, it's just too many players either out like that or injured. So I would say Houston is gonna make a run. I think they're the most healthiest team. I think they got the best combination of offense and defense. I think their defense is tenacious. I know Donald said early in the year he liked Iowa State. I remember you had mentioned that you like Iowa State. I'm kind of starting watching them play, even though they lost a tough game to Arizona. I like those guys. Arizona probably is the most well put together team in the country, man. It's gonna be hard for them because you still got three freshmen that are key rotational pieces. It's gonna be hard to win with three freshmen. And matter of fact, when the last time we seen a team have what was it, Duke, when they had Justin Winslow in there?
Oh yeah, just it went with three just Winslow, actually four freshmen. Because Grayson Allen actually saved the championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Winslow, Okafor, Jones, Tyus Jones, and Grayson Allen.
Yeah. Okay. Eagles Philly said, "Good show today. Good brothers. Keep doing your thing. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Appreciate you, Eagles Philly, all the way from the Philadelphia, PA." King Ming said, "Hell, didn't Alabama have a guy play that was under murder years ago? That was wasn't that
Brandon Miller? Yeah,
Brandon Miller. So Alabama is crazy. I don't know what's up with Alabama basketball and Georgia football. Like, the fuck is wrong with Georgia football got more speeding tickets than Myles Garrett."
Yeah, no, they be getting DWIs down there, bro.
Shit, Myles Garrett got 9 speeding tickets.
Yeah, he's so used to them now. He's like,
that's Myles over there.
Let's charge it to the game.
That's Myles. He's going to get us another sack.
He's playing the wrong sport. Maybe he should be a NASCAR driver.
That's probably what's up next, man. But man, great show today, fellas. Man, I appreciate everybody coming on, man. And we're gonna be talking tomorrow. We'll be talking about the games on Friday and the other playing games that are gonna be here right here at UD Arena. Matter of fact, it starts tomorrow. The playing games start tomorrow, so we'll be able to get college basketball. But before we go, man, we got a game tonight between the Houston Rockets and the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers just had a big time game over the weekend. Game winning shot for Luka Doncic. I think they beat the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Murray fouled out of that game. Then they turned around and then they had another good victory. Donald, who you got tonight? Because they play today and they also play Houston again on Wednesday. I don't know who did the schedule, but Donald, who you got tonight between the Lakers and the Rockets?
I got the Rockets, man. I got the Rockets tonight.
So who you got?
I'm going to go the Lakers. I'm not sold on the Rockets offense. Not that the Lakers play any great defense, but the Lakers of late have been, their offense is pretty dynamic. I think the Rockets depend too much on Kevin Durant. So I'm gonna go Lakers.
I'm gonna go Lakers because I seen something that potentially could be a problem for some of the teams out west. Not more San Antonio or not like the Thunder, but some of these teams that are not as quite as athletic or young. I think the Lakers and Luka Doncic, and I think LeBron James really finding out that he's the third or fourth option was very key for the Lakers. He's finally stepping back. He's finally like, you know what, Luka, this is your team. Austin Reeves, you the second best scorer on the team, and even Ayton is. We've seen flashes of the number one pick in Ayton, and I think if LeBron James could be the facilitator and go down to like 18 points a game, maybe 7 assists.
Yeah,
I think the Lakers can cause problems for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they could beat they will beat Houston tonight. I think they beat Houston back-to-back games, and they solidify their third spot in the West. So as long as the Lakers can avoid San Antonio and the Thunder, I think they got a chance to make a couple rounds of victories. So I got the Lakers tonight. King Mink said, "Why Charles Barkley hate the Lakers?" Good question. So why does Charles Barkley hate the Lakers?
well, the Lakers are that powerhouse, big market team that people don't like. People don't like the Lakers. People don't like the Cowboys. They don't like the Yankees. I mean, people are tired of seeing those teams win all the time. Plus, he just don't think the Lakers are that good. I think he's thinking the same way we're thinking. They're slow. They're not going to be able to get through the Western Conference. I know they argue about this every time on their show. He just don't think they're NBA championship quality team. And I don't really think they are. They're a good team. I don't think they can win a championship.
But they winning. They the third team in the West. Right?
Yeah, but he don't think they can come out of the West. What he's saying?
Yeah, because that's because the Thunder and Spurs are up there. I mean, I don't give a fuck who was in the third spot. But it's crazy how we get criticism to the Lakers, even though they're winning games, but we still believe in the Denver Nuggets.
Well, they're the Lakers. People hate the Lakers. I hate them. Shit.
Maybe that's what it is. Donald, why you think Charles Barkley hates the Lakers?
It's Charles Barkley. You expect anything different? He don't know. Lakers are a championship organization. That's nothing he would don't know anything about.
That's you, boy. You and Charles Barkley. I would love for y'all to go debate.
I don't understand him.
Hey, Jason said Barkley still pissed about the Nick trade in 1992. I guess was he supposed to go to Lakers? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He wanted to go to everybody good. And then when Durant made it to somebody good, he talked about Durant like a dog. But Durant is who you wanted to be. Go to good teams and win a championship. You just wasn't good enough to do it.
My thing is why Barkley hates the Lakers is like I said, when you make a pot of gumbo, it's like the Lakers are missing something. Like, because if this was any other team with this record, everybody be talking about how great they are. Because if this is the Pistons and Lakers, then they got the same damn record. And everybody talking about how great the Pistons are playing. And the Pistons don't have a player on the level. We love Cade Cunningham, but Cade Cunningham ain't good as Luka Doncic. Let's be all the way real. You know what I'm saying? So we love the Pistons, but we hate the Lakers. I don't understand that concept. And are the Lakers, I guess because the Lakers are a team that feel like they should win a championship every year.
They have LeBron James. Even if they didn't have, it's not even, and he's not even the best player. If they didn't have LeBron and they just had Luka, it wouldn't even matter as much. The Lakers just wasn't even talked about or cared that much before LeBron got there. Yeah,
I mean, it's true. But I think Charles Barkley just hates everybody. And I like Charles Barkley. You know, I'm a big fan of Charles Barkley. But sometimes he's not a person that apologizes enough for me. When you're wrong, I think with you being a national treasure, and especially commentator, I think when these guys are wrong, I see Stephen A. Smith wrong, they never come back and apologize for them being wrong. I think that's what gets under my skin. If I'm wrong on Against the Grain Sports, I always come back and be like, hey, man, I fucked up. That was a bad call on my part. And I rarely got to do it.
But to defend Charles Barkley, he has said in the past, we talk too much about teams like the Lakers and the Cowboys and all these teams. They ain't really winning. He said we don't talk enough about teams like Detroit and teams that are better basketball teams. He said he gets tired of talking about the goddamn Lakers and they're really not ready to win the chip. That's what he's basically trying to say. Why we got to keep talking about these son bitches? I remember before he got the ESPN, he was saying that type of stuff.
It's crazy. Jason said they were gonna get Magic. He said they were gonna get Barkley till Magic got the claps. He said that killed the deal. He said the Lakers had the most annoying fans in the NBA. He said, well, besides the Knicks. Yeah, the Knicks, they're very delusional, but sometimes you got to be delusional as a fan.
Knicks and the Cowboys the same.
But he said they neck and neck. But man, great show today, man. We'll be back tomorrow. Donald, man, give me a final thought as we get out of here.
My final thought is the University of Kentucky. We pushed Cal out the door. I don't know if you didn't think that. I think a lot of people have a problem accepting that people are bigger than the program these days, and programs and institutions are not as big as individuals nowadays. It's an individual world nowadays. The Kentucky program, that was all Coach Cal. You rushed him out the door, and now he's winning a conference championship in the same conference that you're in. And the University of Kentucky, you shoved out your roster was a $22 million roster, double the amount of money from everybody else. You paid all these kids to try to make sure you didn't look bad after Cal left, and it made you look bad. And in turn, you put extra pressure on your current coach because everybody's looking like, man, hold on. We paid $22 million. The boosters, we paid $22 million to put this guy a roster together that's double anybody else's in the country. So you put pressure on him trying to prove that you weren't the trouble, and Calipari wasn't the reason you were winning. And I feel like you just dropped the ball by putting extra pressure on when you should just let it fizzle out or whatever the case. Because now with those type of rosters, you either got to move on from Pope soon or he's got to win soon.
Donald, that's crazy because they was saying that they didn't want Stephen A. Smith because he didn't want. They didn't want Cal because he was the one and done, and now he just won the SEC tournament with Arkansas with a guy that's probably gonna be one and done. That's crazy work, man. King Ming said Stephen A. Smith would never admit he's wrong. That's not in his contract.
He rolled for John. Hold on to that hairline. Let it go, Stephen. It's all right.
He should go bald real quick.
Yeah, let it go.
So give me your final thoughts. We get out of here.
I thought we were just talking about LeBron a minute ago and the Lakers. LeBron's a great player, one of the best players that ever played. They had a big win the other day. He's diving on the ground, but he always doing some corny shit. He did this. He goes on his Instagram and posted a picture of the scab from his knee when he was diving on the floor the other day. Bro, why the fuck are you doing this? And you wonder why people talk shit about you, Bron. Just play basketball. No one gives a shit about the boo-boo you got on your knee. Relax, bro. It's okay. You play for the Lakers. They probably got some good medicine that covered it up for you. He always doing something corny, bro. Always. He can't help himself.
You're a wild boy, but that's the truth. My final thought is this, man. We look at the draft is coming up in April, and I love the draft. I love free agency period, but something that's got me scratching my head yet again this year. You know what got me scratching my head is that teams like Arizona, Atlanta, Minnesota, all these teams that are looking for the Jets, they're looking for quarterbacks, but they're getting rid of quarterbacks to go to other organizations, and then they say they need a quarterback. I think that's the most ass-backwards thing to do. Arizona does not have a quarterback, but all of a sudden Kyler Murray is so much better in Minnesota than he was in Arizona. But Arizona got a new coaching staff. How did we know if he was going to be good under this coaching staff? But we saying that he still got some good football left in him. You got Kirk Cousins, who nobody has picked up yet. So you telling me in Atlanta that you believe Tua is better than Kirk Cousins? That's what you're saying. We got teams like Pittsburgh that are still holding out on a 42-year-old quarterback in Aaron Rodgers as if he just won multiple Super Bowls for you guys, like he's Terry Bradshaw or Ben Roethlisberger. And then we go to Indianapolis, and y'all paying Danny Dimes anywhere. He got a 2-year, $88 million deal. but they said that his deal could be $50 million in his first year if he plays. So now he's rushing back. He just tore his Achilles December 7th. So now it's a rumor that he's going to be ready for week 1. Like, come on, man. We know everybody looking at Jason Tatum, and now people like, well, Jason Tatum back in 10 months. Well, that's not the same for a quarterback in a contact sport. And I believe that these teams and these quarterbacks, we need to, and I'm going to say this, and I've been saying this a million times, I'm going to say it again on Get Screen Sports. Some of these GMs and scouts need to be fucking held accountable for overdrafting or underdrafting these quarterbacks. Like, something got to give. It can't always be the quarterback being bad. So you say it all the time. Donald, you say it too. Sometimes it's about situations and putting players in the proper situations. Some situations it's just a no-win situation for these quarterbacks. If you fucking know that, you're the Jets, you're the Browns, you're a team that historically has not had success with quarterbacks. Do some other shit before you get a quarterback in there. And stop saying you don't have a quarterback when you just gave up a quarterback, then they go have success a la Baker Mayfield with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that's my final thought.
Here's the thought, Jody. How about we build an actual football team, like you just said? If you think about the Seahawks, Sam Darnold was probably the 8th best player on that roster. It might be too high. I mean, they had a elite level defense, great running backs, good offensive line. They had everything, and Sam Darnold just fit in there, just a perfect spot for him. But let's stop trying to build the team from the quarterback. Let's build around. Let's get a good football team. Then we can win with a subpar quarterback.
Listen, I 100% agree. It's like the notion of real life when people say, I need to make more money. I think that managing the money and lowering your overhead is more important than making more money. So therefore, like a Sam Darnold, if you build a bigger, I use that analogy, if you build a better team, the quarterback doesn't have to have as much output. So I 1,000% agree with you,
So Jason just asked a question, said, so I'm going to go with you, so first. Jason said, so do you not believe in Jacoby Brissett in Arizona?
You gonna tell me Jacoby Brissett couldn't have took the Seattle Seahawks to the Super Bowl? I think if he was with that roster, he probably could them to the fucking Super Bowl. I'm not very impressed with what Sam Darnold. He had a couple of good games here and there, but yeah, no, he don't have a team in Arizona, so no, I don't believe in him.
Donald, do you believe in Jacoby Brissett?
I don't believe in Jacoby Brissett at all.
And see, I do. I believe I'm with Soul. It's all about situational football. Donald, you say this all the time. There's a very thin margin on who's better and who's not better, especially when all these guys go pro. It's a very thin margin. It ain't nobody that get drafted and you just like, this guy is just light years better. Peyton Manning was a talented player, but his arm strength was not up there with a Randall Cunningham or John Elway. He just was able to get – people forget, when he went to the Indianapolis Colts, he went there with Marshall Faulk and Marvin Harrison. Both of those guys are Hall of Famers. And then they end up putting Reggie Wayne around him, Edgerrin James. They end up putting other guys that end up being Hall of Famers around him. And he ended up being Peyton Manning. Not saying Peyton Manning wasn't good. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying that some of these guys, like, it's a very small margin on who's good and who's bad in the NFL or NBA. Yeah. Like NBA, I say NBA is different. NBA, you know who the fuck is better. Like, you know LeBron James is better than Pete Myers. You know what I'm saying? But in football, it's a very small margin at the quarterback position. Now, some quarterbacks just got the it factor, like Donald like to say. Patrick Mahomes got the it factor. Tom Brady had the it factor. And I'm going to go to you, Donald. I'm going to go to you. You can explain this. You telling me that Tom Brady was more talented than Drew Bledsoe?
No, I mean, I was pretty young, so I'm not going to do that. But more than likely, not. I don't think that Tom Brady is like a top 10 to 20 talented quarter, just off natural talent that I've ever seen. Now, he was good. Don't get me wrong, he's good. His knowledge of the game was real high, but the situation means everything. Just like this past year's Super Bowl, them two quarterbacks. If you watch the playoffs, do you really think that those guys performed to get to the Super Bowl and either one of them had to win, one of them had to lose? They both had good football teams around them, and certain things and situations happen to where you get there. I think Sam Darnold had a really good game against the Rams, I want to say.
Yeah.
But other than that, you get carried to the Super Bowl. Drake May was awful the whole playoffs. You get carried to the Super Bowl. If you make the situation better for you, you get a better outcome, and the quarterback just look all world because they're gonna get all the credit anyway.
So I'm gonna ask Sol the same question. Do you think that Tom Brady was more talented than Drew Bledsoe?
No, he would just. Let's not forget Drew Bledsoe didn't get hurt. That might have been Bledsoe winning a few of those Super Bowls instead of Tom Brady. So I don't think he was more talented. He might have had more drive, and he might have been a better fit for that offense that they're asking for. Because Bledsoe had a big, strong arm. I would say no, he's not more talented than Drew Bledsoe.
You know what else he had? He had more cheats than Drew Bledsoe.
That's crazy work. We're not gonna do that. Like I believe that you're right. I think that Bledsoe, if you looked at a physical stature, Bledsoe was bigger, stronger. He had went to the Super Bowl prior to Tom Brady getting it. Let's not forget that he was the number one pick of the draft for a reason. New England was bad in the mid-90s, and I believe that Bledsoe was more talented than Tom Brady. I think what took Tom Brady over was that it factor. He did not want to lose.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady was so cerebral. He's probably the smartest football player we ever seen. This guy can go up there and he would be able to turn a play that would be a negative yards play into a positive. And he did. You never seen Tom Brady take losses. You never seen him take big sacks. You ain't never seen.
No, I don't know what he takes on it.
No, that's crazy. But have you ever seen Tom Brady take a 17-yard loss on a sack?
No.
But you done seen guys like that's not that good try to overextend plays. Tom Brady knew when to fold them. He knew when to hold them. And I asked that question. That's why I say it's a very small margin. And when it comes to any position on the field, unless you're an absolute freak like Randy Moss, Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson were just freaks. Yeah. But if you look at the running back position, I'm going to go to you, Donald, first. Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith is not blowing nobody off the charts with his athletic ability. But when you see a guy like Derrick Henry, he's overly imposing because of his size and his speed. What made them different?
Situation. This is a situation. And like Emmitt Smith's cool, but you got to think. You got a guy like what was the guy 2K from Tennessee? Chris Johnson, world class like Adrian Peterson, Derrick Henry, world class like talent. Just the situation make a big difference. But I do think the margin of players, if you're getting paid to play, you're extremely talented. So the margin of, like you said, something like Randy Moss and guys like that, okay, they are like the top 5 guys may be way better. But that from 5 to 30, y'all pretty much the same talent ability wise. It's just a situation from there.
That's true. So what do you think about that? What was the difference between Emmitt Smith and a LaDainian Tomlinson, or like Donald said, Adrian Peterson, Derrick Henry, where the success level of Emmitt Smith was at this level and the other guys have never really got up? Because nobody has – what running back that has multiple Super Bowl victories that are in the top 10 in rushing?
Yeah. You don't see that. And you probably never see it again. And what I do about the 90s Cowboy team, the key position, the quarterback, wide receiver, and running back, no one would never put any of those guys all time in top 5. But when they got together, when they formed together, they were a kick-ass team. I tell you what, that offensive line and that fast defense, those 3 guys might not have been the best at their position, but they can definitely win some fucking championships.
And that's why I'm gonna say in closing, GMs and I understand you want to keep this a family business, because I'm pretty sure if I was against the grain, sports is going to be a family business. It's going to be left to my nephew Donald, my son Jody, your son, young Chris, Ray's son, whoever wants to. If this goes to the next level, which it will, we want to lend it to our lineage. We want to.
Yep.
So I understand the NFL team wanting to keep, their process of their GMs and their scouts are all seem like they related to somebody, but they're making bad decisions. And when you got a team that consistently keep making bad decisions on, like the Jets, like how are the Jets year in and year out, and you in New York City? Now, Donald, they're not in buttfuck Ireland. They're in New York City. How do you consistently miss on free agents, but the Giants don't miss because they got 4 Super Bowls? Why are the Jets consistently in a big market consistently can't get players over there?
The Jets are the Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks are the Giants. And just because you're there, you still like you're not the favorite child there. But I think that makes a difference. But the Jets, it's like I don't want to say cursed, but it's like something about them. It's like the Jets can have a draft next year. Everybody coming in as rookies. They can get Tom Brady, Barry Sanders, Randy Moss, and they'll all be bust. It's just in New York. It's just a Jets thing.
Okay. So why do you think the Jets just can't get it right, and they're in the number one market in the world? New York market is the number one market.
They're in the best. They got bad ownership. That's where it starts, man. I'm telling you, years ago I worked for Coca-Cola. I was like, you think Coca-Cola, you think all the commercials, you know, everyone drinks Coke. I went in and I started working for that place. This place is fucked up. I said, you would think they got their shit together. No, they don't. And it just kind of remind me of that, man. They got the brand name, they got everything, but up top they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And that's the big issue with the Jets. They're living off they're living off being in New York, sharing the stadium. They are like the Clippers, somewhat of the NFL. They share a stadium with the Lakers. Lakers winning, and now the Giants win Super Bowl. The Jets just play 17 games, but they don't win shit.
Y'all both made great analogies. I just don't understand. Maybe they need to change their uniforms or something. Maybe they need to go through. I'm dead serious. Because the Jets, it's no way that you're in New York City and you can't attract talent in New York City. Like, I don't understand it. I understand Donald made a perfect analogy. You did too. So you're saying that they the Brooklyn Nets, the Giants are they the McDonald's and they the McDowell's. You know what I'm saying? And I just think when I look at the Jets and I'm like, they always got peanut butter, no jelly, because I just seen them have tremendous defenses. I'm like, God damn. Like, it was defense they have. Nobody could fucking score them. But then they just can't get it right at the quarterback position. And that's why I say everybody like, well, the Browns got the worst draft. I'm like, man, have y'all looked at the Jets draft and their quarterbacks? Have y'all looked at that?
Hey, like, Jody, do you think I know we're gonna get off the show here in a second. Do you think the Manning family is gonna allow Arch Manning to be a fucking Jet?
Good question.
They got a history of doing this. Now we all know how they get down. Say, no, my grandson is not gonna be no fucking Jet. You ain't ruin my grandson's career. Hell no.
Let's talk about that, and we got a couple minutes before we get out. Yeah. Donald, what do you think about that?
No, I don't think he's going. I don't think he's going. I think the destination is really going to matter. First of all, it's even worse now than Peyton and Eli because the whole family is in a way better position than Peyton and Eli. They were already okay before Peyton and Eli. Now they're way well off, and now Arch can make his own money going back to school. It's really no pressure on you. Kind of can pick your destination. As long as they say you might have a couple teams up, you can kind of pick your destination now and kind of carve out your own legacy and not worry about going to one of these organizations. But I don't think he'll go to the Jets. He'll be back in the Longhorns before the Jets.
What do you think, sir?
I think if he decides to come out this year and the Jets have a terrible seat, they have the number one pick in the draft, I think he's gonna say, look, y'all better make a trade because I'm not gonna play for the Jets. And we'll see if they make a big deal about it because, you know, the Manning family, they've done this from time to time. And I think that's what he'll do.
I'm going to say this. I think that the Jets are not going to be as bad as everybody think this season right here. I think they won't even have the number one pick. I think the number one pick for sure right now is going to be Arizona. And I just don't like the fact that the Manning family can dictate because they will. Donald's absolutely correct. The reason why I say he's correct is because he still got 2 years of eligibility. Yeah. So he doesn't have to come to the NFL after this year. And to be honest, there's no guarantee that Arch Manning is going to be the number one quarterback come out. Yeah. We actually penciled him in the number one quarterback, and we see how he struggled early on. You know, I never left the Arch Manning bandwagon. But next year, we got a whole year with Trinidad Felix. What's the name? Trinidad Chamberlain.
And he like 30 years old, though?
Yeah, but I think he's gonna. I think he didn't play a full season with Ole Miss. He's gonna finally play a full season this year. So I think he might be the Heisman Trophy. So to be honest with you, man, I just think that the Jets are not gonna be as bad. I think that the team that they're gonna have to worry about him going to is Arizona. I think Arizona's probably gonna be the worst team in football. Now we said that last year about the Saints, and the Saints ended up saying not so fast.
That's true. They had a decent season.
But yeah, let's see how it goes, man. That's a good question that we'll channel as a season and pro day. I mean, pro day and the draft and all that stuff goes, and then we get into the college football season. We'll see how he plays. We got to see how Arch Manning going to play against the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Buckeyes are
easy dub. Easy dub.
We're not about to go there. But Ohio State about to lose a lot of starters on defense. So let's see if he can perform against a team that's going to be missing Sonny Styles, the other Lorenzo Styles, McDonald, Caleb Downs, Reese. That's 5 starters that we know for. Oh, and the cornerback. That's 6 starters that we know that's going to be new on that Ohio State defense. So we'll see.
September's in August. September in Austin is about 115 degrees on the field. It's going to be. I can't wait.
And then King Mings just brought up that Peyton Manning's son, Marshall Manning. I put a post up about.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I think that he's going to live off the hype. Let's see if he goes to Tennessee. That's going to be the big thing. Is he going to follow his dad's footsteps, or is he going to follow his cousins and go to Texas, or is he going to follow his grandfather and other uncle and go to Ole Miss? Let's see how that goes.
Is he a sophomore, junior? What is he?
I think he's a sophomore in high school, and he's already one of the top quarterbacks in the country. But let's make sure he plays against competition, unlike Arch. Hey, but great show, man. I'm glad to be back. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be talking about whatever happens in the free agency, NFL. We'll talk about the developing story with Alabama's guard, Holloway. Let's see if he's going to even play in this tournament. We'll talk about the games on Friday and some more playing games. And we'll talk about the Lakers if the Lakers beat the Houston Rockets, because they got to play them again on Wednesday. Let's see how that goes. But I'm your host, Jody Coleman of Against the Grain Sports Podcast, Uncut. We got my nephew, Donald, the voice of the youth, Coleman in the building. We got Jarrell Soul on Sports Glenn, Michael, the People's Champ Perry in his absence, Ray Moore and just Barbara Lindsay in his absence, Andrew mic'd up. And y'all know we can't do none of this without Jay Kane, the chef, cooking it up in the kitchen. And the hefty lefty Jason was in the comments. So big shout out to them. His nephew is going to play Saturday in the state champion semifinal round. I got my ticket. Donald, let me know if you got your ticket. We're going to shoot up there to the right state and watch them play. But so what we doing until tomorrow, man?
We working, baby.
See y'all tomorrow. Peace.